welcome back. This is going to be nearly the highest level of excitement that you're going to be seeing for a while. We've got the winners finals here. So that means we have Phase 2 going up against Shoe Money Crew. These two teams have looked absolutely untouchable throughout most of their play, showing very few weaknesses and beating every team that's lied before them. So it's here where one team is going to step up and show that extra little bit of oomph to cross over and claim the first of the bragging rights, which is the winners finals. So we've got Frito here, and we have well, we've got Paulsable. And guys, we just did the last game, and I'm so hyped to get into this game. So Frito, Shoe Money Crew, give me a walkthrough. What should we expect to see from this team in this game?
Well, the key points that we've highlighted on the desk thus far, whenever we've seen them play, is that they basically embody the term scrappy. You're not going to see them do a lot of elaborate strategies. Instead, they focus more on their interpersonal chemistry, almost in their ability to just make plays in the chaos of the fight, largely surrounding their star DPS player. Who are you? Sorry, no, hear you. Who are you? Very good DPS player. Not on this team, though.
I was terrified.
I was like, wait, they're definitely going to win. No, hear you. Sorry, who's actually Brandino anyway, but the streamer. But he's a Doomfist top 500 player, and they're going to play around his play, setting him up. And often you'll see them with really tight rotations, almost like they're playing in pairs with really tight comms, but not an overarching macro style. This is very important, I think, because Phase 2 likes to run that 3-3 brawl composition. So we're going to see a clash of styles more than likely, because Shoes Money Crew has already reached their goal in getting into trials. That's what they said in interviews with us. That's all they're really looking to do. But I think because of that, they may let caution go to the wind and keep running that Doomfist, and possibly even counter the style that Phase 2 wants to come out with, often making big anti-nade opportunities for the Ponzer in the backline, from the backline, set up by the Doomfist or the disruption of the tanks. So I think we're not going to definitely see a 3-3 mirror match this time, and I'm going as far to say that Shoes Money Crew may take the upset here.
Ooh, exciting. I like it. And I definitely like it plays a little differently to what we see, especially with the Doomfist, because it's an interesting style, but Phase 2 is a team that has shown to be able to break some interesting styles. So I have to ask Paulsable, when it comes to Phase 2, what are we looking at?
I think Paul may have lagged out. Unfortunately, his internet is giving some trouble. So I will say this. Phase 2, we've seen in earlier in the bracket, did go up against Goats, and they were the team that sort of put the nail in the coffin for the Ana meta being a real deal. Goats tried to run Moira a good percentage of the time, and unfortunately for Goats, the Ana play of Moore from Phase 2, he originally was on Mayhem Academy, was coming in the clutch and really defined how the rest of this bracket, I think, is going to play out. So I'm going to be looking to Moore to be sleeping that Doomfist. And if you're able to do that, hit those crazy Ana abilities, Phase 2 probably is going to be able to stabilize and everything's going to be fine. They are undefeated up to this point in Season 3, dethroning Goats as well, and just sort of having an easy way throughout the upper bracket thus far. And even losing here isn't the end of the rope for either team, because there's a loser bracket final they can go and take. But Phase 2 should be deemed as the favored team here, with a lot of good mid-fight brawling and coming out of the Ana play really to secure big impact, either sleeps or antes. And that's pretty much the matchup as it's going to come together here today.
All right, so we have a team that definitely plays an interesting, more relaxed style. We have a team that's a little more behind. And now you said that you are leaning Shoe Money Crew, yes?
Right, because I think the style will force Phase 2 in order to play other compositions. I think that if the Doomfist plays well enough to create anti-nade angles, which when you dive the backline with a brawly character that knocks takes around, you're going to find a lot of those, that the 3-3 composition that we've seen dominate the open division meta in most of our broadcasts isn't playable, actually. I think it just gets wrecked if you play it good enough, and that's what we've seen like in the Fusion University XL2 finals for NA contenders. I think we've seen it in Overwatch League at times as well. Mm-hmm. The playmaking style with these squishier characters, when you play it right, kind of dismantles 3-3. And I think Shoes Money Crew have the skills to pay the bills and make it rain on a 3-3 composition.
All right, so I believe we have Pulsable back here, so I got to ask, between Phase 2 and Shoe Money Crew, where are you leaning for as far as...
Sorry,
No,
I interrupted you. You're talking a lot about the Doomfist, Frito, and I'm glad you brought that up because that is one of the hardest counters we've seen to 3-3 compositions, right? But we've also seen 3-3 compositions when they acknowledge that and they target the Doomfist and they immediately remove him from the fight, that the compositions relying on Doomfist fall apart. I think if Phase 2 have that acknowledgement, they have that targeting, they're going to walk away with this easy.
Okay. Now, so I like this. We've got some bold picks. We've got some bold strategies. It's really going to come down to that flexibility for Phase 2. And now I have heard good things about Shoe Money Crew as far as their own adaptability. So I'm excited for this game. Is the easy way to say it. And we we have a big game coming up here, and I'm excited to throw it over to our casters. I hope they're ready because I'm sure this is not going to be an easy one to cast. Ults are going to be flying. Team fights are going to be won and lost in the inches. So I hope you are ready. Ham and Boop, it's coming on over to you. Let's get this final on the way.
Thank you so much, Green Havoc, and we are definitely ready, Ham. Shoes Money Crew versus Phase 2, the #1 seed. Like you said earlier,
Ironic.
Every member has been on a contenders team before, and Shoes Money Crew coming in, like you said, with a little hubris. They don't do their scrims, Ham.
Yeah, Shoes Money Crew, we do know that this is a team that, kind of prides themselves on staying loose. They definitely have a lot of confidence coming up into this matchup. So, that may explain the hours that have been spent on, WoW, but, priorities. So
Exactly, but you know what it could do, though, is it creates an element of surprise. So, if you don't scrim against other people, they're not letting you in on their strategies. Do you think that could come into play today?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm going to tag off the back of what Frito was talking about. Shoes Money Crew, they have, some pretty unique compositions coming out. Phase 2, they rely a lot on that GOATS composition, that triple tank, triple support. And that can mean that they're somewhat predictable, right? At this point in the meta, I think we've all smashed our heads against GOATS more often than not. Whereas Shoes Money Crew, they don't rely a lot on, these very predictable compositions. So that may be an asset.
Yeah, and they have that pocket Doomfist, which could rip Brigitta's world apart. Not for long. There is going to be a patch coming, but for right now, that is going to be true. But let's talk about Phase 2 and how they got here. They are the only undefeated team entering the playoffs in Overwatch Open Division, and they're deserving that record right now.
Certainly, every player on this Phase 2 team seems like a bona fide threat. Coming into playoffs with a 10-0 record is very impressive. Everybody else sitting at that 9-1. In particular, I'm definitely going to be looking at players like Wub to really step up there. He has such a deep hero pool, and every single one of them is, you got your Doomfist, you got your Genji, you even have a Pocket Widow. And then, of course, we can't forget the off-tank players like Hawk as well, who I'm never going to forget that moment on Nepal Village with a 5k Diva Bomb against Dogman, I believe. Literally and, figuratively blew my mind.
Yeah, I'm going to warn your ears right now. There are going to be some cause going on in this cast for a Hawk, but he's got to have to earn it now. But now looking at these team comps as we're looking at Lijiang Tower, Ham, what are you seeing?
Well, it looks like there will be a little bit of the herbivore flavor coming through from Phase 2. At least early on in spawn, they are showing that GOATS composition with Ana GOATS, Grandma's GOATS. Whereas Shoes Crew, there are right now at least teasing something more of that classic dive loot dog on the Widowmaker. If he does come out on this hero, it wouldn't be a surprise at all. We know that he is a capable DPS player, and Widow is one of his favorites. My big question is going to be gonna swap off the Hammond onto that Doomfist. This is kind of the classic big money composition coming in from Shoes Shoes. So Doomfist Widowmaker die from Shoes, whereas phase 2 sticking with that Goats composition. So my big question is, who's going to be getting the most value from this CC? Wubs Brigitte certainly has a lot of potential there, but no Hiryu as well. He has that added mobility to dive into the back line, knock Moore's Ana up into the air, where the rest of Shoes crew can collapse onto phase 2.
And the fight is now on the point. The tanks are seeing each other, making that aggressive eye contact. Really great biotic grenade to get the heal going for phase 2 right now, as they have started to assert their dominance. Hawk is into the front line, and now the trades are happening. This is a 5v5 onto the point. You really want to grab this first, as it is so much harder to grab it after you've lost it. And this is still a 5v5. No Hiryu is coming back from spawn, so he'll be here in just 1 second. And phase 2 is going to need to take advantage of the fact they don't have that DPS. The time to kill has been very, very slow. And as I say that, we do another set of trades. But no, the Sea of Red is starting to happen right now. Shoes Money Crew is taking advantage of the fight and winning it.
Oh, man alive, no Hiryu. He must have heard me, dove immediately into the backline, got rid of Moore. And that is such a huge kill for Shoes Money Crew so early on in this fight. It's exactly like you said, Boop. If you lose this first cap to a Goats composition, you're going to have to work through so many of those big tank ultimates before you really even have a chance to retake. Phase 2, though,
it's going to throw out the self-destruct. Shoot's not going to get anybody. The Reinhardt shield was there. The Primal Rage has been popped from Baboon, and all of the ultimates are on the line right now. The Nanoed Reinhardt's going to have a hard time swinging his hammer since he was booped away. Hawk, though, has gotten the kill, gotten his counterpart, and now this is a numbers advantage for phase 2. This is a great opportunity for them to switch. The infrared sights is going to give Shoes Money Crew the vision that they need, and that vision is on both sides. There's no hide and seek going on right now for either team. Sinker does have that Graviton surge for this next fight, as they do flip it 41% for Shoes Money Crew.
41%, and Shoes definitely going to need that little bit of cushion as they come back into this fight. They're only going to have the 2 support ultimates. Of course, Taponzor's Nano Boost is going to be really big, give Shoes a little bit more of that edge diving back in, but they're going to have to contend with Sinker's Graviton Surge. He can let that loose so early on in this fight, use those walls to drop Shoes Money Crew into the pond potentially, and once they weather that grab, they're still going to have to come up against duplicates, Earth Shatter, not to mention the sound barrier.
Phase 2 should not lose this fight. Graviton Surge is out. Really good bubble from that Winston, making it a little bit more complicated. The sound barrier has to be thrown out in response, only getting 4 of the members, but phase 2 not taking advantage of the ultimate economy that they had. They do take the first kill. They do get another one, but they have had to invest a lot more into this fight than they wanted to.
Yeah, 100% Boop. And again, Moore, one of the first people out of the fight from phase 2. However, with all of this HP and the barriers on the point, Shoes Money Crew gonna have to back off and reset for yet another push. That was a pretty heavy investment. However, both of the tank ultimates will be coming online here. They're gonna have to find a way to get rid of Duplicate's shield first off, though, if Suck wants to pick up any kills with this D.Va self-destruct. But let's dog swap onto the Brigitte alongside No Hiryu. Could be plenty.
Oh, no kills on that self-destruct. Hawk's actually going to get Suck before he's able to get back into the mech. That's going to prove to be a huge kill, because phase 2 is entering one-fight territory. If this fight goes long and phase 2 wins it, they will win at the round, and it's looking like that actually might happen. The Doofus is going in. Another Graviton Surge from a Sinker is going to seal this up for phase 2, but was the fight too fast, Ham? Looks like Shoes Money Crew will get a second chance.
One last chance to tap some toes on that point, try and start overtime here, but they're going to be doing it with only 1 Meteor Strike online, and Suck gets to mech. That's going to be huge. Shu needs all the damage mitigation possible to try and make their way onto the point.
Oh, I love what Hawk is doing, spreading the team around. Kabooms gets taken, so no support for Shoes Money Crew. This is worst case scenario for them right now. We have commenced overtime, 99%. The Meteor Strike not getting nothing. Duplicate gonna fill the kill feed with his handsome Reinhardt face, and phase 2 will win this first round.
Yes, there indeed is a very attractive older German man behind that, stoic metal helmet. But indeed, the Goats winning out against this tried and true composition from Shoes Money Crew. Potentially, maybe this could be where their lack of scrimming time has come back to hurt them. Usually this composition, the Doomfist Brigitte or the Doomfist Widowmaker, is straight cash homie for Shoes Money Crew, but this time around coming up with big zeros against phase 2, at least in that first round of Lijiang Gardens. However, Night Market may be a different story, as it is a slightly larger point. A lot of teams like to take the brawls in the courtyard, where you know, the Reinhardt hammer swing not going to be hitting quite as many enemies. The Zarya may not be as effective as there is more room for a more mobile Shoes Money Crew team to maneuver. Looks like both teams going immediately to the objective.
And let's see what this first fight is going to look like. The uppercut is going to go ahead and start this fight. Ooh, a great anti-nade coming from phase 2 is going to help them win at this fight. And we're now seeing the power of Ana and that E-Boom.
Oh, Grandma, I missed you. What a beautiful nade. And it's, you know, those kind of very deft, small moments from phase 2 that are giving them a huge edge in these very close battles right here. The power of that anti-nade can't be understated, especially when your two supports are Ana and Lucio, who really rely strongly on that AoE healing. And you can deny that with a single cooldown.
But I love the aggressiveness that Shoes Money Crew is coming into this fight, and it's going to start to pay their advantage because they're going to be up in numbers right here on the point. It is a 4v5 for Shoes Money Crew. Earth Shatter goes down. Kabooms is on the ground. Going to get taken out by that self-destruct. Phase 2 was down at the beginning of this fight, but now this is anyone's game. But Ana and Zarya cannot be underestimated. They could do this, especially with that Meteor Strike, but Duplicate Shield is there. Suck gets the kill, and this back-and-forth fight eventually will be for Shoes Money Crew. Things keep going the way they are because of those ultimates, Sam.
Oh, 100% Suck. With so much high energy here, a DPS in his own right will have that Graviton Surge in hand so that Shrew can continue to try and rack up that point percentage. It was looking pretty good for phase 2 earlier on, but that early kill onto one of the members of this Goats composition just spelled doom. You really need all 6 members up for Goats to be working as intended.
Ooh, I love this grab going on the high ground. Not able to follow it up, though. They got a lot of people, but no damage to follow it up. That could prove to be very, very bad for them. Phase 2 is going to start being the aggressor here, and now the fight, like you said, is taking place off of the point and into the shops and the courtyard. No Hero trying to get back into it, and right now it looks like it's just aggressive tanks and aggressive Shoes Money Crew getting the 4 kills they need to maintain control of this point.
100% Boop, and phase 2 needed that. They're now going to just start eclipsing phase 2's point percentage here. Yeah, a really interesting grab from Suck. That was kind of a Kmart grab, not a whole lot of value to be found there. Potentially it was a bit of a miscommunication. Might have wanted to combo with that Meteor Strike, but Suck, of course, still very close to this next one.
Another Graviton Surge Sound Barrier to get that as well. Sound Barriers all around. Everyone is shielded up. Everyone has that HP. Meteor Strike going down. The sleep onto D.Va caused the damage, but it wasn't enough to get the D-Mech, and now the kills are coming. It is a 4v5 for phase 2. They have the numbers. They have the ults. The Nano is out. Graviton only gets Duplicate in a really great position for him to maintain his shield position for the rest of the team. Biotic Grenade for phase 2 is going to keep them all healed up, but they cannot make it onto the point. They are getting the kills, but they cannot get the distance. No Kiryu gets a great uppercut kill on it to Wub, and once again they are winning the fight, but it's taking them so long to get to the objective.
Time to kill has been a big issue for phase 2 thus far. Shoes Money Crew, they were just trading so effectively, and now the rally in from Loot Dog just going to extend this fight even further. This is likely going to be a 99% point flip if it even does happen, and it looks like finally phase 2, Baboon swinging out, just, you know, showing off his high mouse DPI right there. And phase 2, they will be able to recap this, but only just.
All right, so Ham, we are at 99%. Phase 2 has 2 ultimates online versus the 0 ultimates for Shoe Money Crew. Phase 2 has a shot here to maintain this all the way to the end.
They got to keep cycling those ultimates intelligently. Sinker, he's going to be trying to prove that, you know, every Graviton Surge from the side of phase 2 can be a winner. Of course, though, if they wait too long, Suck going to have his own Graviton Surge. Grab out now. Is there capitalization?
It doesn't look like there is. The armor is there for that Reinhardt and the sound barrier, so no one has died on the side of phase 2 thus far, except for Hawk, who has been knocked off, maybe by himself, maybe decided to go for a little swim, but it's a 5v5 now because of that rally just in time for that Graviton Surge. The Nano is there to keep Wub alive, and this is scary. A Nano Brigitte can do a lot of damage and a lot of healing with that Inspire, but Baboon is popping off right now, getting the charge, and then the Fire Strike kill onto Insomniac. The sound barrier for Shoes Money Q is going to try to seal this thing up, and it looks like they're going to get the point.
Oh, Baboon just taking a well-deserved siesta. This guy doesn't need to be on a Winston to make his main tank presence felt here. Now adding his hammer in. Duplicate down for phase 2. Can they even tag in? Oh, Insomniac. Roller skates, you know, need a little bit more grease on those ball bearings, and it will be Shoes Money Crew tying things up 1-1.
we have a game for you. We knew coming into this that this would be close, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now as we're entering round 3 of Lijiang Tower, and this one is for all the marbles for map 1, and I love it because it's Control Center.
Control Center, this is where we saw Reinhardt Zarya thrive long before the days of GOATs. Was there ever such a time, Boop?
There was.
There
it was
actually
beautiful.
Yes, but it looks like Phase 2 going to be sticking with this composition. If there's anything about this team, it might be that, a little bit of stubbornness, but hey, they won the first round off the back of this composition. They're going to be sticking to their guns. For Shu's Money Crew, though, they're going to be keeping No Hear You on that Doomfist, and he has been absolutely paying dividends with this hero. Otherwise, this is a very similar composition, mirror compositions, in fact, so it's all going to come down to who can get that crucial first pick.
And now we're seeing, like I said, that aggressive eye contact, that Reinhardt mating dance, but No Hear You is going to go ahead and start this fight. That aggressiveness is going to be taken advantage of as Hawk is going to get that first kill, and this is Phase 2's advantage on the point. We have a 6v5, a really great shield dash from Brigitte, and Hawk's going to continue showing up on that kill feed. I love how aggressive Hawk has been, getting himself in the tank space and the back line as well.
Yeah, and he's going to be 73% to D.Va self-destruct within this first fight. Boop, that's incredible ultimate generation for this D.Va. And while Shu's Money Crew are kind of putting all of their cards behind No Hear You's Doomfist, one-shot potential hero, Phase 2 investing more in that long game, going with the D.Va for that extra damage mitigation. So Shu's Money Crew, they need to make these initiations quickly and cleanly, but it's going to be an Earth Shatter coming in massive.
Oh, 4 people on the ground simply going to get his food as well. It was a veritable buffet for him after that Earth Shatter. He definitely omnommed that all right up, Ham.
Yeah, and Omnom, the Earth Shatter gone, but still a well-stocked ultimate pantry. 4 online for Phase 2, and most crucially will be Sinker's Graviton Surge. Oh, Hawk with the off-angle D.Va self-destruct, and it gets
there it is. So Hawk getting 2 on that self-destruct. They still have 3 more ultimates. But the thing is here, they're going to be able to get through that door because Hawk is dead and coming back from spawn. 2 kills is good, but they're going to move right back to their spawn, which was so close to where they already were. Hawk is back. The rallies are there. Graviton Surge getting 4 of them. Kaboom almost gets sucked in himself, but the rest of Phase 2 finally target the Graviton Surge, take advantage of the ultimate, and get the kills.
Oh my goodness, unleashing a nanoed duplicate upon that hapless Grav, just looking like a dog setting upon a plate of sausages. There was no hope for Shu's Money Crew, and now they're edging towards that one and done fight territory. Phase 2 with 75% to their name. A well-placed Earth Shatter could just shut this out, however, Suck still has his own ultimate. Baboon as well as they head in.
The Ponzor has dropped that nano. Great Graviton from that Shu's Money Crew as well. But the sound barrier is going to keep Phase 2 alive. Meteor Strike could have been huge, but the bubble and the shield were in the right place. And right now we only have a 5v5 on the point as we do have Trace. No mercies on the field for everything is converted kills. Good anti-nade onto Suck, but not going to be able to get to that backline just yet. Insomniac amping it up with that healing, and everyone is going to be back for this fight here very, very soon. And that makes Hawk's D-Mech that much more important. Ooh, anti-nade getting 4 onto Phase 2, and they do the right thing and cede that space. During that fight, the point was flipped for Shu's Money Crew, but this could be the end for them. They have to get the kills, and once again, another grab goes without the kills. They're just going to have to wait a couple more seconds as they do get the 2 kills for Phase 2. This is an advantage for them. If they want to take the point back, this is going to be where they can do it. Hawk get a huge self-destruct. Are we going to hear another costume? Duplicate is going to get Loot Dog with a nice charge into the wall. No self-destruct needed for that flip, but we are at 90% Ham.
Oh, that pivot from Phase 2, investing Sinker's Graviton Surge when Shu was expecting them to fully regroup was so beautiful. 4 seconds now for Shu to come and tag in. There is a Kabooms on this point. By himself, he has the sound barrier at the ready, being chased right now by Wub, forced to drop that sound barrier only on himself and Suck. How long can this 2v3 last?
Oh, the Graviton does get 2. Damage going to be there. Looks like, yes, with the Fire Strike, Baboon is going to get more. That could be huge. Graviton Surge getting Baboon and Kabooms. I like the way that sounds together, but they do die together as well. What great teammates doing things as groups. But right now, Phase 2 is up 1-0, taking Lijiang Tower 2-1.
And Boop, it is so important between these two teams. Every single one of these wins just adds to that confidence. We can't understate the mental game as well, especially when we're seeing these very close mirror matchups. It can be the difference between your Reinhardt having the confidence to drop that hammer, go in with that aggressive charge and not, and potentially losing out that mind game, that shield battle against his counterpart.
How cool would it be to say that you are the #1 team out of over 500 in the tournament, and these two teams are both capable, even if they lose, to say that? But right now, we've got a game on our hands. Phase 2 looking good. Shoes Money Crew almost taking that, but what could they have done to maybe get that last point? They flipped the point, but then they gave it up.
Yeah, it was looking so good. If we think back to that first round of lead down on Gardens, where, No Hiryu was going into that back line, sowing so much disruption. That's, one of the tactics that you can take against this GOATS composition. Run something extremely chaotic, extremely disruptive, whereas GOATS really thrives when everybody's working close together, very bunched up kind of melee range. You can get the benefit from that Brigitte, from that Lucio AoE. Shu, they can really invest resources into No Hiryu. I don't know, we could see even Hammond coming out here. Just double down, man, because I don't know if you're going to beat Phase 2 at their own game.
Exactly. So now we're at Gibraltar. You're not going to beat them at their own game, so what game are you playing?
Potentially that Widowmaker game.
Warcraft.
Yes, Warcraft.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, here we go.
Well, Shu, I'm certain that their Warcraft skills are up to par. The question is whether or not they're going to be winning out in potentially this long-range DPS battle. Right now, we do have Wub early on showing that Widowmaker, and we know that this is one of the heroes that he's very capable on. And Loot Dog on the side of Shu's Money Crew also is very capable with the, purple French sniper. Of course, the question is going to be what the other tanks, what the other players on the team will be showing. Expecting a lot of honor, expecting some dive tanks here. Nothing's too crazy, but Sinker on the Sombra definitely bodes well for the side of Phase 2. He's not really a huge play-making Sombra per se. We don't see him going in the backline assassinating supports on his own. However, he is a consummate team player. I feel like every time I see a massive EMP come through from Phase 2, there's always capitalization, and that's kind of that crucial throughput that some teams aren't quite able to link up.
And looking at the other side, no, you're not supposed to talk about the offensive side just yet. The Kabooms is showing that Zenyatta, and that is exactly what Sinker wants to see on that Sombra. That EMP just eliminates Zenyatta, basically makes it a 6v5, but when they see that, are they going to switch, or are you going to stick with that Zenyatta?
It really depends on what you want out of your support line. Certainly with the Zenyatta, you have the potential for that transcendence, going to be really big to keep your team up and alive. And the other part is the ability to focus down certain members of that enemy team. That Discord Orb, not just good for shredding tanks, but, really focusing fire on any of the weak members of Phase 2 and deleting them with even more alacrity. Already, though, Kabooms, getting put under pressure. He is saved by the peel from Tapanzor, but it was a close thing, and already Shu's Money Crew getting put under pressure.
Yeah, Sinker was in an interesting spot in the backline. You see that high ultimate percentage, but that could have gone really poorly if they were able to get that time to kill and get that damage in. Was able to translocate right out, but right now it's just acting as the eyes of the team. Loot Dog is maybe going to get one clip. Is that going to happen? No, going to get to the health pack. Oh, it was hacked. So that is exactly what you want to see from your Sombra. Yeah.
100%. She is so good at taking and holding this area as well, forcing Shu's Money Crew to push back even further in order to regroup, and it's actually going to even force a hero swap. Loot Dog now going onto the counter Sombra. Sombra v Sombra here, but Sinker, of course, already has such a huge advantage, has control over that Mega Pack by Car Wash, and of course, 80% up to his first EMP.
Yeah, has the pack and server as well, so it doesn't really matter where they can go. They have to go back to their base, and they have to see that ground if they want to get healed, or it just has to come down to the healers, and there's no mercy to get that throughput healing in there. Kabooms is not going to provide enough, especially if he's going to be dead, and we're seeing it right now, just getting down to 7 health, but unable to kill Sinker.
Yeah, it is very hard to be playing with your team when you are 6 feet under here, and Phase 2 racking up, slowly racking up those ultimates, as Shu's Money Crew very slow to make any kind of initiation here. Of course, you may have to take a couple of eco pushes with those hero swaps. Big EMP.
Let's see if they're going to be able to convert on this EMP. It was a good one, and Sinker died for it, and the numbers don't lie. Phase 2 has won this fight, but Shu's Money Crew does have the offensive spawn advantage.
There's definitely that advantage here, but my question is, will No Hiryu swap off? You see Sinker in the backline, not just targeting down that Zenyatta, but also just making the Doomfist extremely uncomfortable, because if he gets hacked up, he's literally a guy with no movement ability, just 4 shots in that big fist.
Yeah, Suck was hacked, and that's why we see him not being able to get into that backline and get really low, but No Hiryu's going to take things into his own fist and get those 2 kills. The meter strike is exactly what you want to see. Basically, Anna is just a sitting duck when you do that Meteor Strike, and he's taking advantage of it right now. Seeker got the paranoia into phase 2, but it wasn't enough to keep them from this first point.
No, indeed. What a clinical dive there, an assassination by No Hear You, and now phase 2 going to be reaping the unfortunate rewards of that short spawn. 2 really painful staggers, more in particular. Be so close to that nano boost. Duplicate likely going to have to pop this Primal Rage at some point just to buy enough time for that full 6-man regroup. But Wub actually going to switch onto this Tracer. Pretty interesting composition, but perhaps phase 2 really going to be focusing down that backline. They want somebody who's more easily able to follow up on any of Sinker's hacks.
Well, not a lot of huge team fights in this game so far. It's definitely been individual, Sinker getting the picks, and maybe Wub's just trying to play to that style because it has been pretty effective for them so far. We were at 3 minutes and 12 seconds in the Division Winners of Bracket semifinal, and Sinker's going to try to keep his team going. Phase 2 has had a really good defense. They did lose that first point, but it looks like they're coming back, Ham.
Yeah, now you can see that the game plan has slightly changed and everybody is still on the same page. Again, another wonderful EMP from Sinker to capitalize on things. And Wub definitely earning his keep on this Tracer pick, 85% up to that Pulse Bomb. So again, going to be deadly against Kabooms in this backline, who unfortunately popped that trance a little bit too late to save Baboon. However, there will be a Nano Boost online for Shoes Money Crew, and they have been able to get so much done by nanoing No Hear You.
And let's see if we're going to see the same thing. No, as Duplicate's able to get Bonezor before the Nano comes out. And now this is a 5v4 on the point. This is going to be for the defense. Duplicate still has that Primal Rage. If for some reason he's going to need an amazing stall here, Ham.
An amazing stall for sure, but there's always the possibility that Loot Dog could end things before they even start with his EMP. He's hunting, but with Kabooms down, it looks like another scuffled push for Shu.
Ooh, unable to get that EMP before the Primal Rage, decides to keep himself alive rather than throwing in at that ultimate, because Duplicate did pretty much just waste that Primal Rage to stay alive. But Moore and Hawk both have their ultimates. They're looking at 5 on the other side, so if Shoe Money Crew is going to continue this payload, this is going to be where it is. Good boop from the Lucio, actually competing with Loot Dog, forcing to translocate out. Meteor Strike is out. Moore is able to survive somehow and gets slept. What a huge sleep dart from Moore. I know the animation stops there is a little easier, but still to have it ready to go, that shows how good you are. Poser still has that Nano, not able to use it just yet. Gotta wait for the rest of the team to come back.
Ooh, but a sleeping Ana Moore gets dove upon by the rest of the team. This time around, oh my goodness, this guy's a cat, has 9 lives. Okay, all right, the 10th life. That was where the buck stopped, and it looks like Shoes Money Crew will be able to potentially get this point B cap. There are a couple of members left. Sinker just waiting at the right moment to tag in here. They don't want to blow their cover a little bit too early. Hawk, of course, ready with his self-destruct. Will he become up huge again?
Yeah, they are going to try to compete for the self-destruct's not going to get anything, so he's going to get right back into that map. Let's see if phase 2 self-destruct is going to get anything. No, was pretty telegraphed, but now we have a 5v5 on the point, but Kaboom's going down. It's going to prove to be even better for phase 2. No tanks versus 1 support. Let's see who will win this fight. And it looks like Shoes Money Crew and phase 2 are going to keep this even. Sound Barrier are going to get the last 2 members of phase 2. Seeker is on their way back, and we're seeing the assassins and more, who isn't going to be able to die just yet, but has been getting a little bit of damage in. And look at this stall so far. Duplicate getting onto the payload. No Hear You unable to convert. Now we have 25 seconds left for Shoes Money Crew to come back.
Ooh, Suck needs to get out of there ASAP. No, he gets Demect hacked as well, and I think that phase 2 may just let him live. No, they mercifully kill that baby diva, allow him to respawn back in mech without giving up any ultimate percentage. But with only 10 seconds left, this is not going to be a full 6-man push, and Sinker ready with this EMP.
Oh, the EMP is down, but Loot Dog is in the back line. Let's see if Moore's going to be able to survive, but the rest of his team is not, as phase 2 is going to get the first 3 kills. Primal Rage coming from Baboon is going to have to be a miracle stall for Shoes Money Crew to keep them going on this payload. Wub does get the Pulse Bomb on it to Suck. Great anti-nade as well onto Shoes Money Crew, and this is it for them. Overtime Wick is done. Phase 2 holds at the second point.
There we have it, Loot Dog. Unfortunately, he swapped onto the Widowmaker in the middle of all of that, off of the Sombra, then back onto the Sombra. It just looked like, Shoes Money Crew, that once they were taken off of those, really comfortable heroes for them, it was like a new pair of shoes that it didn't quite fit right, especially coming up against phase 2, who all seem completely comfortable with those heroes. I'm never going to forget that sleep dart from Moore onto the Doomfist off of a meteor strike, right? And that is some quick reaction time. Just in general, phase 2 working that defense perfectly in order to hold Shu's Money Crew at just 2 points.
For all you Animains or wannabe Animains out there, the end of Genji's dash and the end of Meteor Strike, there's a second where the character stands still. That's exactly when you want to throw that sleep dart, and Moore obviously knows that's the case. And now we're going into the second round, and phase 2's got to be feeling pretty good about that defense.
Certainly, it wasn't a full hold, but hangar phase, if you're able to get the payload to stop right there, the win condition is clear. You just need a gun for that golden box of victory, and phase 2 will be coming up 2-0 in this half. However, you cannot discount Shu's Money Crew. I believe in No Hiryu's Doomfist.
You're not going to discount a team, right, that has money in their name, right?
It's name. It's against the rules.
You're upselling.
It's in our contract here,
exactly.
so but Loot Dog now on his third or fourth hero here. Some deep hero pools on the side of Shu's Money Crew as well. And I do like this Genji pick. You have that mobility. You're able to use that high ground, especially because in this first point, it's so crucial to keep that high ground in control so that your Ana is comfortable up there, your Zenyatta as well. And Loot Dog is just going to be one more piece to that high ground defense.
I'm really excited to see Wub on this Genji as well, because in previous games, he has popped off on that Genji. Let's see if those blades will be as effective as they have been in the past. But it looks like right now we're going to see our General Gibraltar set up. They're all going to see each other. Maybe we'll get some fights on the high ground. Maybe we'll get some fights in Car Watch. But right now, they're all just kind of saying hello, getting that ult charge. And look at this dive. Very, very well done. No Hiryu is in a really interesting spot right now. I don't see how he gets out of this outside of just running away. And that's exactly what we see. But look at these ult charges. Loot Dog actually getting some really good charge himself. But Wub with those headshots on to the Bone Sword. It's 65, and the payload will continue moving.
That is such a huge kill, and Wub just dancing around with these shurikens has removed a crucial piece of this defense. Now Shu going to have to fall back so far behind that blue box, and phase 2 going to be able to set up Sinker on this Widowmaker wherever he pleases, and this is a huge advantage against Shu's Money Crew, who have no real long distance damage to try and compete.
Yeah, No Hiryu's gonna have to get in that Widowmaker space somehow if he's gonna be able to get that distance. Nice uppercut onto Winston, but at this point, is that damage wasted on the tank because Wub is getting the other people instead? And look at this, phase 2 coming in with all of those kills. And I pose that question to you: just because you're the biggest body doesn't mean that's where you're gonna put the damage.
No, certainly not. Wub, small, silent, and deadly. I felt like he barely needed that blade in order to get things done, and now pushing up quite aggressively is this Genji, just trying to build up to his second blade here. Loot Dog now coming into his own ultimate. There's a nano boost from Tapanzer as well to try and enable him here. And the good news for Shu is that there is still quite a bit left before Insomniac gets up to that sound barrier. So if Loot Dog can get a good dive going in, phase 2 is going to have a hard time defending against that blade.
I'm really interested to see where this nano is going to go. Are you going to put it on duplicate? Prime Rage is there. The Dragon Blade is out for it. Loot Dog and No Hiryu is going to go ahead and drop that Meteor Strike. Loot Dog has the nano, gets the slice, gets no dice. Got to do it the old-fashioned way with the right click, but gets the kill onto Insomniac. And finally, for the first time this round, Shu's Money Crew gets the defense.
Slice, no dice. Still delicious sushi here for this Genji. Shu definitely needed to hold right there. The cart was about halfway to the finish point in this hangar phase. And not too bad ultimate usage either. Shu staying very disciplined here. It's so easy to blow all of those ultimates in the heat of the moment, but they still have not only the Transcendence left, but those 2 stalling tank ultimates as well. Hello there.
I mean, that's exactly what Loot Dog is hearing in his head and in his dreams as he's getting that ult charge back up. And Wub is close to the Dragon Blade as well, but look at these kills coming in. Shu's Money Crew has a number advantage, and it looks like phase 2 is looking to reset.
Phase 2 playing a little bit more patiently right here. They don't They've already lost a couple of members. They don't want to get any more staggers before they can fully engage. Wub very close to his own blade here, but one of the best things against a blade is a defensive self-destruct. Force the Genji to hide, dive for cover. So Suck's gonna have his hand on that Q key, no doubt.
Yeah, we might actually see 2 Dragon Blades on the site. Goes ahead and unleashes the blade on top of the Maria Cortada, and the Transcendence is going to nullify all of that damage. Lootdog is going to die during his, so no Dragon Blades available for either side, and this is just going to be a Primal Raging duplicate getting the kills on Kaboom specifically. Phase 2 looking good on this fight. Suck trying to delay this payload, and No Hiryu is coming back on right now, unable to get him killed. Meteor Strike is just trying to stall this point out for the rest of the team to come back, and that's why you see him going onto the high ground, actually gets Tinker up there and deletes them. Didn't even see him. That's how fast he died. Self-destruct is out. Look at this. Use Money Crew in a really big back and forth fight. Looks like they're coming out on top.
Choose Money Crew, that crucial time bought by No Hiryu's Meteor Strike allowed Suck to get back in, get some damage mitigation, but they may have overstayed their welcome. No, they're gonna double down Nano on the Doomfist.
The Nano is on the Doomfist, so the Doomfist is a hack, so what are you gonna do? Only left click, all he does is run away, and it wastes the Nano. Sinker, great focus there, and Sinker's also gonna get the kill onto Loot a Dog. Oh, what does that must feel terrible for your mental state right there. You have the advantage. You have the momentum. You get the Nano on your Doomfist, and then nothing happens.
What you gonna do when they hack in you? Just run away, I suppose. However, No Hiryu and Loot Dog both so close to this ultimate Suck. He can buy enough time for his DPS to come up to those crucial ults. Insomniac, though, has that sound barrier ready to answer. Regardless, they're going to have to cut through this shielding.
Loot Dog very close to his Dragon Blade. Wub has his. If they're able to get Loot Dog before he's able to unleash that blade, that is a win for Phase 2, and that's exactly what we're going to see. They're not going to just get Loot Dog ham. They're going to get everybody on the team. They have reached the yellow box of victory. Phase 2 goes up 2-0.
Not just Loot Dog, but the whole kit and caboodle. Team wipe. Shoes Money Crew putting up a stalwart defense there, but in the end, they do crumble to just the blades coming in from Phase 2. Wub gonna take away that play of the game, and rightfully so. He always seems so on point with all of these dash throughs. It's that whole idea of I'll butter them up, you slice them down.
Oh, I love butter. Some people call me the butter bandit. Butter them up and slice them down. Exactly. And Wub showing off how deep his hero pool is, as he's been effective on many a hero, has been maybe the loudest on this Genji, but has been consistent overall.
Yeah, and consistency is a big thing that we do like to see in those Genji players because, to be honest, okay, even a ham tornado Genji can get a single nice blade. Right? But the fact that you see Wub in there getting those dash throughs, not only is he so consistent with where he's applying that damage, that burst, but he's able to sustain himself as well. It takes up so much pressure off the shoulders of your Ana to know that the Genji, he's going to be all right on his own. Throw a couple of, darts in there, keep him up. And if he really is in dire straits, he'll come back to the team. And so in general, just Phase 2 working like a well-oiled machine right now.
Someone who I don't think feels well-oiled right now is Frito in that prediction. So I'm really excited to hear exactly how he's going to come back from that at the death. So Green Havoc, take it away.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and let Frito respond to that. Frito, how are you feeling with your pick?
Well, sometimes, kids, you got to remember not to let your dreams be memes. And I put my faith in the meme team, and I get what I deserve, basically. Where I wasn't really happy with the Li Zhang picks, because instead of leaning into the Doomfist dive, they just sort of mirrored 3-3, but with a Doomfist. So Doomfist had to go in by himself, oftentimes getting slept. And there wasn't really the pressure to split the tanks, to turn around. All the other stuff I talked about that they did against other 3-3 compositions, they didn't end up doing that. They just sort of mirrored there. And then, but on Gibraltar, you don't play Widowmaker. It's a Widow meta. Maybe if you scrimmed a little bit, you would have known that. But, close games overall. I think they do have the skill to potentially turn it around if they feel like it. But we know this team's goal was trials, and they've already accomplished that. So maybe a little bit of foot off the gas. But Phase 2, confidently in the driver's seat right now. And kudos to them. Bunch of contenders players, former contenders players as well. Very well-deserved victories in these first 2 maps.
It's been, a lightning affair, especially that whole second point defense for Shoe Money Crew is on Gibraltar. It was you thought they were going to take it so much earlier for phase 2, and then out of nowhere a 3K from a Doomfist where he's hopping up and grabbing the Widow, hopping down, grabbing the Diva mech, knocking the tanks, and out of nowhere you're like, wait, they're turning this fight around? What? So I have to ask Paulsable, we're watching phase 2, they seem almost like they're confidently winning still, but there's definitely kind of a delay, like they have to like adjust or wait for something. What do you think is that moment that we see them struggle a little bit and then they win the fight? We see them struggle and then win.
I think it comes down to that Doomfist that we talked about on the pre-show, right? Like they know that that's Shoe Money Crew's like their primary win condition, and when we see Shoe's Money Crew like come out ahead in these fights, it's off the back of 3-4 kills from the Doomfist, right? No, here you just carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. But I think the problem is that Doomfist may be an unstoppable force, but it's going up against an immovable object. Phase 2, so stubborn. They refuse to go down, and they use their ults in such clutch ways to sustain on the point. We saw Insomniac come out with a 2-man barrier, which I, for one, was very much questioning until it enabled him and Ana to stay alive for his team to regroup and come back in, and they push Shoe's Money Crew off. So they're just so good at this split-second decision-making, and maybe it comes from all the scrim and practicing.
Well,
who would have thought?
Sometimes practice does help make perfect, but I definitely think one of the win conditions for phase 2 move is continuing to allow Wub that freedom, because I feel like it changes how Shu has to take the fight. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Frito, but one of the things that helped crack open some of these points was Wub's ability on the Genji to really kind of make it a base race. And then with the fact that phase 2 is playing a more secure base, that's kind of where those tilts came from.
Well, that's where the damage is coming from, but I think what opened it up was Sinker's play, actually, with really distracting Sombra play in the backline. You saw multiple times that Moore's all-star Ana play could even land an anti into the backline that Sinker could follow up on, and just Sinker being a thorn in the side of Shoe's Money Crew time and time again. So Wub couldn't really be contested, doing all of the gymnastics through the sky of the Genji shenanigans. I think what I would like to see is more Sombra out of Luke Dog, and in order to try to equalize that, because Doomfist really needs that dynamic duo partner that can be a threat, creating space in the backline. We saw how Sinker was able to do it. Now let's see if Shoe's Money Crew can make space for their DPS with more aggression.
So
I'm sorry. When it comes to Wub too, the problem is that, we saw him pop off on first point of Gibraltar, right? And what are you going to do against that? You have to counter him, right? But when he goes into the back line, he went in completely alone at one point and got countered out by a Transcendence and died for it. But meanwhile, the rest of his team has just destroyed the front line, right? So even if you shut down Wub, the skill level of these individual players on phase 2 is just so high that you really need to just be better than them, and we're not seeing that from Shoe's Money Crew right now.
Well, it is time for the second half, and we are going to see if we see a little more tension to go the 3-0 for phase 2. So we're heading over to Temple of Anubis. Boop, Ham, I am excited to hear what department store puns are up next.
Oh, there are gonna be so much. You just challenged us, right?
You do not know what you ask.
Yeah, exactly. So, my best friend Macy out there, people are saying that she's having a harder time, just like Shoe's Money Crew, in getting the money through her doors.
Exactly. Shoe, they're putting down a lot of dollars, not so much return, and might need to go to a brokerage house. But
they're not ready for Brookstone, but they are ready for Temple of Anubis, where Shoe's Money Crew is going to be looking at to get to 2-1. They have to do the reverse sweep if they want to continue on to the finals. So this is the winners bracket finals, everyone, just so everyone knows. And so the next person going in here is going to be going into the last game.
Yeah, exactly. These are best of 5 series. So at this point, this is Shoe Money Crew last chance to start that reverse sweep. It may be incoming, man. And sometimes that snowball, all you need is that little bit of starting momentum. As Doomfists are, that kind of hero. Once you start feeling those combos, then you really start getting some momentum going.
That cannot be underestimated, Ham. The momentum-based characters, yes. I love to say my fist is as good as that Doomfist, but I don't think that is the case. But the thing about this is when you're feeling it, you got to feel confident. When you're playing confidently, you're playing it better. You're not making those mistakes. You're remembering your basics.
Yes, exactly. And that's, I think, might just be what Shoes Money Crew needs at this point. They're obviously a highly mechanically skilled team. It's just linking up kind of all of those disparate parts, making sure that the communication is clear, that everybody's on board with what the game plan is. Because Anubis, everybody knows 2 CP, 6 CP, 7 CP, please no. But the potential is there to rack up enormous time banks. And then when you have to play these maps over and over again, it can become very, draining. It really tests your endurance. Are you going to start making those, little mistakes, getting a little bit sloppy? So Shoes Money Crew, they definitely want to nip this in the bud before it metastasizes out of control. And this might be where they start putting their foot down on Assault.
Ham, that was too many syllables and one word for me, but I'm going to go ahead and say you are correct.
Yes.
Phase 2 looking at this. Yeah, exactly. Phase 2 looking at this defense right now. Wub is showing on that Doomfist. Oh, going to go ahead and debate me super hard. Wub is going to go ahead and get that Tracer going.
Yeah, Tracer, this is not a hero that we see him play as often, but with the success that we saw on Gibraltar, why not? Once again, it's going to be about finishing those kills off the back of sinkers, hacks, or, duplicate, lasering down a couple of people really low. You get a couple blinks in there, just those few bullets to actually confirm that kill, because we talked about it in the earlier rounds. Phase 2, sometimes they can have trouble with those fights just extending on very, very long. And if you have control of the point, that's always fine. But in those cases where they're struggling uphill, that can just doom your push.
So looking at this offense right and now, Poneswar was on that Brig, but look at this. Going to use that Hammond potentially for the Scout. Has been playing support the rest of this game, but it looks like we're going to see this Hammond just race on it to the point. Now that means they have to do something. They have to either bring the fight back onto the point and get the Hammond, or take the fight and the numbers advantage with the rest of the team. And as of right now, they barely got there before the tick was taken. I don't believe they did get that tick. Nope, they did not, as it does seem like the circle is becoming empty, but Suck does get the first kill. So this combobulation that Shoes Money Crew has put into Phase 2's minds might be to their advantage, but now the kills are coming in from Hawk. No Kiryu is such an important part of that offense for Shoes Money Crew that they might not be able to take it here right now.
No, Tupanzer trying his best here just to see if he can get any more kills, because any kills, even if you're just trading evenly, are good for the attackers due to those defensive respawns being so long. But Hawk, oh man, being that stalwart bird of prey, finishing off the last couple of kills means that Shu gonna have to regroup for it now. And look at this ultimate bank that Phase 2 have stocked up. 4 to their name. Insomniac about to come into that sound barrier as well. However, Shoes Money Crew, they do have Kaboom's Nano Boost online, but it's gonna be Duplicate glowing with all of that grandma juice.
Look at that team play. The EMP was there, and immediately Duplicate jumps into the backline with that Nano. But look at this. The kills weren't all for Phase 2, and the way that these spawns work out, Shoes Money Crew will have a window where they have an advantage here numbers-wise.
Yeah, they're gonna Phase 2 gonna have to wait for more to get back into the fight. Insomniac already racing back to spawn to speed boost grandma back into the body of the fight. Shoes Money Crew, they have a tiny window. It's closing slowly now, but they may well just wait for all 6 of their ultimates to come online. This is going to be a huge threat.
Oh, and here we go. No Hiryu has that Nano on him. Let's see if the kills are going to be there. Meteor Strike is going to go off at the end of that Nano. Let's see if the kill will be there. Where is he going to land? On nothing, it looks like. No Hiryu, though, has cornered Sinker and gets the kill. Hawk gets that self-destruct kill as well. So now the numbers are for Phase 2 for another clean defense against Shoes Money Crew.
Shu right now, they're just having such a hard time. Oftentimes, No Hiryu can make such a beautiful opening, like a French window floor to ceiling, takes out that Ana in the backline. He's doing so well, but in the meantime, his entire tank line has fallen, or some other such tragedy ending to this story. So we need to see Shoes Money Crew, all coordinated. If they're going in, they're all going in at the same time.
But that is not what we're going to see. We're going to see that same strategy they used before. They were going to come here with no numbers advantage, but they do take the fight on to the point. The EMP is going to get most of Shoes Money Crew, and this is just due for them at this point.
Yeah, the pincer tried to come in, but the backside of that pincer did go down so early on. No Hear You and Loot Dog going down meant that there was no bite to that bark, and with the investment of that minefield, Panzer will swap off onto the Winston. This is a very interesting. He is not usually their main tank player, although he does flex around. Perhaps this is just that X factor that Shoes Money Crew need, because with 30 seconds left, this is their last chance.
Yeah, everyone is in trials already, so this is just for the bragging rights. I love to say I was number one over 500 teams, and both teams are still competing for that. The self-destruct is coming in from a Suck, doesn't get nothing. Hawk, though, in the backline, getting the Ponzor on at that. Winston EMP is out. Hawk is going to be left alone. Sound Barrier does clip him. The Anti is going to keep him low, though. It does get the kill onto a Loot Dog. Self-destruct is out. Is it going to get anybody? It does get his counterpart, Suck, in the end. And now the fight finally might be moving into Shoes Money Crew's favor.
There we go. No Hear You cleaning up the last couple of stragglers. What's a rocket punch but a high five to your face is what my grandma always said. However, Shoes Money Crew rolling into point B. They will not really have any ultimates online in order to try and snowball this. Phase 2, they will have that EMP online, but of course, No Hear You, so much one-pick potential with this Doomfist. If you can remove more again from the backline, that's going to be a brilliant start.
Oh, that's exactly what you want. No Hear You getting a great fist and hit on the wall against Sinker, but Duplicate's going to take him down as revenge. This is a 5v5, and with those 2 kills, 3 kills from Duplicate's Primal Rage, this is done for Shoes Money Crew. They're going to have to try again.
Duplicate, it's in his name, man. 2 not enough. 3.5 is what he'll be taking on that kill feed. So much value from that Primal Rage, and that means that Sinker has been able to save his EMP for the next fight. EMP into Pulse Bomb from Wub could be a winner.
What Hawk and Winston did right there was just block No Hear You from entering any type of fight and staggered him. So now there's just 10 extra seconds off the clock, Am.
And that 10 seconds will start to add up here. Remember, Shoes Money Crew barely got that first point A in overtime, so they have about 3 minutes. That means about at least 3 more good pushes here. And they're definitely going to be looking to try and set up No Hear You's Meteor Strike, but no.
The Pulse Bomb going to take No Hear You out of the fight again. And what I'm seeing is focus from Phase 2. They know exactly where the damage is coming from. And they've been sitting on 4 ultimates, now 5 ultimates. Going to have a full 6 packs, my friend Semler would say, for this next fight. So in no world should Shoes Money's crew lose this next fight. They have every resource possible outside of all of their moves, because Sinker did just EMP them all, so they're going to have to try one more time. Something that Hex did say in the past, though, EMP is just a delay into another one fight. Kabooms is down, and Nano did go down as well. Both 4 ultimates are gone for Shoes Money Crew, and they haven't been able to even make it close to the objective, Pam.
They keep getting stuffed before they even reach this choke. It's so unfortunate. They have so many tools in the bank. They're just not ever able to open up that chest and use them. Insomniac ready with yet another sound barrier. Wub ready with that pulse bomb as well. Shoes Money Crew, it is time now to make that decisive engagement. Suck hacked for right now. No Hear You in the back once again.
Meteor Strike is down. This is the start of potentially the last fight for Shoes Money Crew. They're able to get the kills they need and unable to get more. The slow-moving Grandma is moving fast enough, and you have to convert on these kills. Also misses the Seismic Slam, so not even going to get the shield there for No Hear You. And the Hacked Pack means you are dead, my friend. Sinker showing up everywhere, even when his body's not there himself. Phase 2 looking pretty good still. Loot Dog getting taken very low. Same thing with the Ponzor, who is still on that Winston tank, and this is looking good for the defensive side.
Certainly, Duplicate just primal raging, making sure nobody's getting any cheeky ideas over here. He is getting quite focused down. Nope, he does manage to leap out after securing that kill onto Loot Dog. And with Shoes Money Crew's last attack scuffled like that, they're running out of time and running out of options as well. 1 nano boost on the line. A sound barrier, though, coming in could buy the crucial amount of time for No Hiryu and Loot Dog to once again farm up to those ultimates. But Tapanzor on this Wrecking Ball, this Hammond now, again, could be that big difference maker. He certainly has a lot of sustain on this point, but Sinker ready with yet another EMP can render him useless with a well-placed hack.
The pile drive does get on more, but there's no one else there. He's by himself on at the point he is antied. He's trying to get that ult charge, I guess. The Meteor Strike is down, and so is Nano for Phase 2, who is going on Duplicate. The Meteor Strike is right now. Let's see if this is going to be able to get the kills, but no. More does go down. The rest of his team is taking advantage of that as well. Shoes Money Crew does have an opening. Sinker is able to translocate out. Let's see if he's going to be able to get back onto the point. What needs to be the mosquito that Tracer is known to be in order to keep them from the second point? The self-destruct has to be huge, and it is! That is another hand coming from Hawk, and that saves the point. Round 1 complete off the wings of our Diva player, Hawk.
Fly high, my pretty bird, fly!
Fly like a bird. Remember that song?
Fly
Yeah.
like an eagle.
Yeah, a lot of songs can go down, but man, they were looking at the bargain bin at TJ Maxx. They found that self-destruct, and they went off for 3 kills, Ham. Saved the point. That would have been the end for them without those kills.
TJ Maxx is correct. You reach down deep into that bag, and surprise, it is Coach. $15.
Yeah, exactly.
What a bargain. Oh my goodness. You could just see Hawk lining up that self-destruct so perfectly, and unfortunately with Tapanzer's swap onto the Hammond, that meant no shielding whatsoever for Shoes Money Crew, so you knew that that Diva Bomb was going to come up big money. And with that, Phase 2, all they have to do is secure that first point and then 86% on point B in order to take things 3-0 against Shoes Money Crew. It was looking so good for so long.
Man, the hope was there, but when he threw that bomb, I think everyone who was watching too just knew, right? It's like that's the thing about Diva bombs. No matter what team you're on, you're like, I'm about to get killed.
I'm about to die. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so Phase 2 looking pretty right now. All they have to do is get that 86% like you said, but Shoes Money Crew showed some of their mettle, showed some of their moxie. If No Hiryu is able to get going, the rest of the team's going to follow.
Moxie, great underrated soda drink, by the way. It is not a weird flavor. It is ginseng root.
Oh, interesting.
Exactly. Anyhow, yes, Shoes Money Crew, they're certainly going to have to get some big bang for their buck here with this defense. There's no static shielding once again. Oftentimes we see that Orisa high horse defense, but it will be the 2 dive tanks, Winston and Diva for Shu once again here. Not a whole ton of changes, just Loot Dog on this Tracer looking to farm up that Pulse Bomb quickly, get some early value from this hero pick.
Wub is on the Brigitte as well, and I like this. And finally, for the first time, I think all series, Moore is on that Moira. And so we're going to see how good that coalescence is going to be for the rest of Phase 2. And I like this already, the aggressiveness from Shoes Money Crew. They're going to take the fight on to the point on their defense, and they have ceded that space, which is A-okay for right now. Phase 2, looking at those ults, looks like Moore is actually getting halfway to that coalescence, and these first kills are going to come here very, very soon. Sock is getting taken down very low. The D-Mech is almost there. They have to convert on that, and Baboon's going to be the first to go down. No tanks available for Shoes Money Crew. Phase 2 is looking pretty right now to capture this first point A. They just have to take No Hiryu down, and that will be it for them.
Yeah, one fist versus the world, not going to be lasting too long right there, and Shoes Money Crew unfortunately fold in the very first push from Phase 2. That means that they're not going to have a whole ton to hang this last defense on, whereas Phase 2 going to be rolling in not only with the Coalescence, but Duplicate so close to that Earth Shatter as well. And again, that Winston Bubble not going to be providing a whole ton of protection right here, so Shoes Money Crew just going to have to scatter once they see that giant Reinhardt charging in here. For now, though, looks like Phase 2 going to be coming up slowly on this right side.
Hawk will have the self-destruct. We saw how effective that was that last fight. Coalescence, but the anti onto Wub is going to keep him in the ground. Going to get that kill. So this is a 6v5 right now. Earth Shatter is huge. Is the self-destruct going to follow? It doesn't look like it because the kills are going to come anyway. Self-destruct going to get kept inside the bubble for now. Duplicate trying to get that charge kill before the remech for that Diva. The self-destruct coming from Hawk. definitely scared them, but didn't get any of those kills. EMP is out. This is an opportunity for FaZe 2 to get this point right here, right now, folks. As Hawk's going to get the DMAC on it too. Suck. The sound barrier goes down just in time to save the rest of FaZe 2, but Baboon does have that primal rage, so look for that. Get that stall going here onto the point. Remember, they only need to get 85.7% of this, and they will enter the finals with that extra win. FaZe 2 will, and now the fight is finally going Shoe Money Crew's way. No Hear You, the one stepping up, getting the kills.
Ooh, no hear you. We may not hear you, but we definitely see you in the kill feed right there, putting on those carry pants when his team most needed him. Loot Dog as well, putting in good work on that Brigitte. A brilliant swap from Shoe's Money Crew. You need a little bit more protection for that backline, and of course the rally going to be a very powerful tool for any defense here. But of course, FaZe 2, they still have plenty of time, over 5 minutes to just about finish out this point B. Duplicate still holding on to that Earthshatter. He has yet another one after the first one didn't pay too many dividends.
They definitely have an opportunity to take this fight. Coalescence might come back with Earthshatter. Really great nade onto Duplicate. It's going to potentially take him down, but seeded that space, came back, got the kills. Earthshatter is going to tickle Suck's toes, and he's going to go down. I didn't like the way that sounded. Self-destruct is going out as well. Nothing to it. No Hear You getting what? We talked about how he could be a nice counter to that Brigitte. We're seeing that right now. Hawk unable to get anything from his self-destruct. Duplicate was slept. Suck went ahead and woke him up. This is still an all-hands-on-deck fight for FaZe 2 on this point right now. Duplicate hovering below a third for the entirety of this fight so far. The Nano onto Baboon is going to seal this up. No kills, but they're giving that space up. FaZe 2 is, and finally first kill comes. That is a reset for FaZe 2.
Once again, FaZe 2 struggling with that time to kill. So many beautiful setups off the back of Duplicate's Shatter and a great EMP from Sinker as well. They just weren't quite able to convert as quickly. And as we said earlier, Boop, Assault, this map type might be the key to Shu buying a stay of execution in this semi-final. The respawns are so strong here, and even with Sinker hacking that Mega Pack underneath, denying that healing to No Hear You and some of the more squishy members of Shu's Money Crew, they still have to compete with that defensive respawn advantage. We do have Wub now swapping onto the Genji for that fight finishing blade. A really good pick here. FaZe 2 going for that long game, recognizing they need just a little bit more burst.
Ooh, more goes down really early on. The Meteor Strike is going to try to confirm some other kills. Self-destruct is out, gets Duplicate, and this fight is over. But one thing is for sure, Shu's Money Crew will be less prepared for the next one.
That's right, Poop. Used a couple of ultimates right there to try and hold, and sometimes we see teams, waiting just a little bit too long to utilize those ultimates. Well, I could possibly get a bigger self-destruct in just a couple of seconds, and then you end up just dying right off the bat. Choose Money Crew, they're actually not looking too terrible. A rally at the ready for themselves. Kabooms with that beat as well. Not to mention that stalling Primal Rage from Baboon. FaZe 2, they're still about 40% away from that blade. Could be comboed with Sinker's EMP, or he'll just go ahead right now and let her rip.
Let's see. Oh, Sinker gets shield bashed, but the sound barrier is there to keep him alive. Sinker taken very, very low. He's going to go ahead and try to get that health pack. The EMP is online. Are they waiting for Wub's Dragon Blade? Looks like they are. He has to get there before the EMP is going to go down, and with 57 HP, they're going to have to wait just a little bit longer, Ham.
Better safe than sorry when you know you probably only need one good fight.
And the Dragon Blade with the Nano is out. Let's see if he's going to be able to convert on any of these kills. The rally with the sound barrier is keeping the rest of Shu's Money Crew alive. People taking low, and Hawk is going to get the first confirmed kill for FaZe 2 right now. Wub unable to get that Mega Pack on the ground. It's going to have to do it the old-fashioned way with the AoE healing from Lucio. Kaboom's getting Duplicate out of the fight. Primal Rage was available. That is the big feels bad man for sure. No Hear You, though, with a Meteor Strike could seal this defense up for Shu Money Crew, especially since Moore is out of the fight. Does get Insomniac, so no support for FaZe 2 right now. Wub trying the best he can, but with the anti, it is over for them. And look at this. They had what felt like an eternity to get this second point, are now down to 1 minute and 43 seconds.
Shoes Money Crew putting it together for an amazing defense right there. It looked like everything was so good for Wub. He was able to catch many members of that defense in that tiny hallway behind the point, but it wasn't you're stuck in here with me or I'm stuck in here with you. That nano boost coming in alongside that sound barrier provided Shu with all the healing and shielding that they needed there, and that blade came up with Bub Kiss. Now it's going to be a Doom Fist for Wub. They really, phase 2 really need this one-shot potential here. About just a minute left. It's do or die.
And they haven't gotten any progress on those ticks just yet. Sound barrier is going to be used offensively to be countered with the anti-nade. They already have to be moving back from that spot. Let's see if the self-destruct is going to be big. It is not. It's not going to get anybody, but it puts them off into the side. That's going to be a fight that Shoes Money Crew is going to want to take instead, because no Hiryu is going to be able to get those fists down. Great sleep onto Duplicate with that nano. Is going to be wasted because of it, but Sinker is going to get the kill onto Baboon. Rally is out for Loot Dog. Extra HP for everybody. Hawk is going to throw the self-destruct out. Nothing to it. The EMP was there beforehand, and that could have been big, but it wasn't, my friends. Phase 2 struggling to get any momentum on this point thus far. Struggling so much, they're just going to die instead. Eater Strike starting it off. Shoes Money Crew looking good so far.
Oh my goodness, yet another stalwart defense here, and Shoes Money Crew, they can see that horizon. The day is about to dawn. Could this be the beginning of a reverse sweep? 10 seconds left. Somebody has to tag back in. Wub, he's used all of his cooldowns here. Who is it going to be? Hawk heading now back to point B. Will he be able to get a toe on? Oh my goodness.
The nano almost stops it, but Hawk able to get into that mech could prove to be exactly what they needed. They could have gotten the opportunity to kill her off and stagger, but the timing was not there. So if they lose this, if Phase 2 is able to get this, that is the reason why. The self-destruct is out, goes underneath the Winston bubble. Nothing gonna happen. No, here you started off with that nice fist to Moore's face. No grandmas allowed on at this point right now. And Shoes Money Crew, what looked to be a disadvantage, ends up taking it, and we have a series, my friends, 2-1 for Phase 2. But Shu, hey, they're giving the hope alive, keeping the hope alive for that reverse sweep.
Oh no, just when we thought the wick was burning down. Nope, we got more rope right here. Play of the game going righteously to Hawk here with this beautiful 3K self-destruct. Classic, man. And he even dies right before he did. Cool guys don't look at explosions. It was calculated. He was bait to get No Hiryu out of the body of the fight so the rest of his team can pick up those wins. I mean, regardless of those amazing plays coming in from Phase 2, Shoes Money Crew. Oh man, Frito, I know he's going to be wiggling in his seat with joy because the hope is still alive. Moore just seemed to have, a magnet on his forehead for fists, man.
Well, I mean, he was doing a much better job previously in avoiding the Doomfist altogether, but it seems like No Hiryu has started to learn how he moves, started to learn his habits and taking advantage of it.
Yeah, that and the tank line. I get this, I feel this anxiety. The kills aren't coming through. Maybe you have the Winston diving just a little bit too deep. Maybe Hawk isn't there with the peel this time around because he was trying to secure a kill, and that meant that the back line of Phase 2 opened there for the taking for all of Shoes Money Crew.
And let's not forget the sleep onto Duplicate while he was nanoed, and then another sleep onto Hawk to try to get overtime to not happen.
Right.
But they were there instead. But those sleep darts proven to be vital, and this is the reason why we like Anna, why I like her to see in the game. She just provides a whole other dimension.
And the granny candies, those little red strawberries with the green tops. I just love those. Where do they find them? I feel like every granny and auntie I've ever met has like a bowl of them sitting on their coffee table.
All of your grannies and aunties must hate you because there are better candies around. I like the Werther's
Wow.
originals.
Yeah. Okay. Boop just, crushing grandmas and aunties out there. Okay, I see where your cards lie.
Hey, what do I say? I'm a Werther's original butterscotch guy.
Disappointing.
Well, not disappointing is King's Row because it's everyone's favorite map. Look at that wordplay. Coming in here, Phase 2. Something that they probably didn't expect. It was the Ponzor switching it up and going on that tank.
Absolutely, Boop. And Hammond in particular on this map, King's Row, one of the OG map types and one of the fan favorites, of course, really lends itself to Hammond. You have all of these very narrow corridors, so your enemies, your prey can't run, and all of these high walls with which to grapple off of, get a massive pile driver going, all of that AoE splash damage. So this is the map, we started out the very beginning of Overwatch, one of the first maps released, and it's adapted so well to all of these these new heroes. So really going to be hoping for some, more unique takes coming in from Shoes Money Crew.
And just as an FYI, we have switched sides. So Shoes Money Crew is now on the blue side. Phase 2 is now on the red. And something that I'm really excited about here is the heroes that Shoes Money Crew has been playing so far are great for this map specifically.
Oh, in particular, like I touched upon earlier, walls galore.
Yeah,
right?
walls.
Small, narrow corridors. You get some Zarya bubbles in there. You get some, Doomfist action going, and punches. Man, it's as somebody who has a black belt in Taekwondo, which is very kick focused. Honestly, I think they're kind of sleeping on that massive right hand action.
I also have a black belt in Taekwondo.
Look at that.
Yeah, look at that. I quit because I got last in sparring competition and then cried for like 2 hours.
This is a whole story, but neither
but anyway,
here nor
we're
there.
going to go back to the game. Shoes Money Crew looking good. Going to be on the defense first this time. Let's see if Phase 2 is going to come out with that Genji, and it looks like they are. I love Wub on this Genji as he is a playmaker on this character and seems to really appreciate how Genji works as well, as he runs right back to that spawn and will potentially switch because they see the comp of Shoes Money Crew. And yes, we do see it. Wub debated me once again. We're going back to the Brigitte, and we're going to see that Goats-like composition. And instead of Moira, we're seeing that Ana.
Yep, Ana's Goats. Granny's Goats. Shoes Money Crew, no hear you on this high ground. Looking for the perfect time. Ooh, just misses removing Hawk from that high ground. Gonna have to regroup with the rest of his team. Dive comes in. They're strongly focusing down Duplicate, but it's gonna be Loot Dog dying first.
Ooh, that bubble saving Duplicate from a lot more damage than he potentially could have actually died. The fist into the charge, getting him into the wall. That was really fun to watch, but not as fun for Phase 2 on this point right now, as that was an absolute stop. While No Hear You was very flashy, didn't really seem to help his team.
No, indeed. You really need a bit more of that team play on the point itself, which, isn't always the case, certainly. But when you are running basically a Goats composition on the side of Shoes Money Crew as well, and you're missing one of your players, whereas Phase 2 will have, everybody and a Bastion. Goodness gracious. I throw my hands up in the air sometimes saying, hey, yo, where's the Omnic?
It looks like we're actually seeing Protect the President without that Mercy, which is cool. Wub getting taken down. Surprise Bastion, not much of a surprise when you are down. Earthshatter, though, man, if I was Shoes Money Crew, I would feel so good right now. Because you're like, hey, guys, that was some disrespect. Let me show you what the proper play is.
Exactly. Turn it around. Squeak. 180 E-break turn, and Baboon already 50% up to his very next Earthshatter. And that's one of the best things about playing Reinhardt. Really rewards you for doing well with even more chaos and ultimate charge.
Wub switched from that Bastion onto that Brigitte once again, but looking at the other side, we seem to have 5 ultimates versus 4. The Graviton Surges are coming together. Let's see if the Self-Destruct can be able to get behind Baboon. But no, there was movement there. It wasn't able to happen. The Earthshatter getting stuck and Baboon. The Nano's going to keep Baboon alive. No kills, even though the ultimates were accurate. Hawk is nanoed right now, but only able to get that Defense Matrix up to keep the rest of his team alive, and he's going to be played with as that Larval Diva is going to be running around and gets fisted into the face, but it doesn't matter in the end because Phase 2 is making progress on this payload.
Phase 2 trying to push forward very aggressively, but it's going to be Wub that falls. This may give them some pause to try and regroup, as Duplicate taking a nap via Ponzor's Sleep Dart here, stuck by himself right now. He's so high charge. He does not want to die no matter what and lose all of that built up energy. Sinker, though, very close to that Graviton Surge. It's a competition right now between these two Zaryas. Who will get that ultimate first? Make a huge difference for their teams.
And they both just used their Graviton Surges earlier in the last fight. This is amazing. Graviton Surge is going to come from Phase 2 first, and then in response, Shoes Money Crew is going to drop theirs, and he kills, yes, another. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Kaka! Okay, so that is 3 or more kills. I think that's 9 total for Hawk on those self-destructs. Well-deserved name. I have not been witness to a more aptly deserved name.
I mean, he gives dive bombing a whole new meaning right here. Is this Diva player, and Phase 2 may well have secured themselves a point B off the back of that. Oh no! Oh, no,
Beautiful
hear you.
kill from Sinker. The anti-nade on it to Kabooms is going to force him back. And I love this, Tim, when teams take the point, they just run forward, not forgetting the payload like they are.
Nope.
But, I like asserting their aggressiveness because they're going to get free space because of this.
Again, back to that mental game. You can tell Duplicate is just itching to let loose yet another Earth Shatter. All of phase 2, their momentum is in their way. However, a rally looking to put them in their place.
Loot Dog getting very, very aggressive. The anti-nade is on Duplicate, which forces the sound barrier out from Insomniac. The Nano was on Sinker as well. Grab out, only getting 2. Sound barrier is there for that defense, and the Earth Shatter is canceled for a Duplicate. Baboon's getting very, very close to his. Meteor Strike is a little off. The Space Jam not quite happening, but the rest of the kills are Shoes Money Crew's going to get that defense.
Ooh, a beautiful counter grab right after that Earth Shatter Nano boost from Tapanzer, once again saving one of his teammates' life. This autoplay, honestly, from Shoes Money Crew has been top-notch so far, and that has allowed Baboon now to set up for this sneaky flanking Earth Shatters. Phase 2, are they going to check the corner?
Oh, he does get the charge onto Reinhardt, so no shields. If he turns around and gets the Earth Shatter, that would be really cool. The self-destruct is out, just gets 1. This is a 5v5 onto this point right now. Looks like Loot Dog is going to go ahead and draw that rally, get the armor on the rest of the team. 2 people aren't going to be able to grab that armor, but the important ones are, as the Ponzor does have that extra health, they are ceding a little bit of space right now to phase 2.
Yeah, despite that sleep. Oh, Earth Shatter comes in, and that's going to be a big one.
And a great biotic grenade onto the rest of the team, actually keeping a lot of phase 2 alive. Duplicate's going to get Loot Dog, and without that Inspire healing, it's going to be a lot harder for them to stay alive on this fight. Kabooms with an amazing boop. I don't know if you guys saw that on the corner of your screens, down into the ground, but slowly but surely, even though the kills are coming for Shoes Money Crew, look at the payload. It has made the distance it needs.
Up there is one stubborn frog, though. Kaboom just keeping things in contestation. A sleep dart onto Duplicate means he's going to eat a big nade to the face, getting booped and bopped this way and that. Oh, the Earth Shatter blocked. A beautiful shield from Loot Dog.
And now we have another fight on the point. Hawk has taken the high ground, going to try to rain those micro missiles down. Sound barrier out for both teams so far. No, Kiryu's able to make contact, but not with the wall. Look at this self-destruct. The players were already dead. That would have been 2 kills for Hawk. Once again, saving your ears. The rest of the team is. And now, after 3 fights in a row, finally phase 2 is looking at that momentum.
1 minute, 40 seconds left here to seal the deal. There's a rally online for Shoes Money Crew and one big Graviton Surge. Suck looking. No, it was eaten.
It was eaten indeed. Nom 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 nom. Duplicate is going to eat that Nano, not really do anything as well. The health is down. Earth Shatter is going to get the rest of the people. Duplicate dropped his shield at the last second, got everyone behind him, but not himself. That's interesting. But the rest of Shoes Money Crew is getting the kills. They need 1 minute and 14 seconds left. But looking at the ults, 1 Earth Shatter is all you need to secure at this point.
Oh my goodness, Hawk, not just there for those offensive plays, but a hungry D.Va as well, working that Korean future vacuum. But despite all of that, Suck still 70% up to his next Graviton Surge. It has been a neck-and-neck race between him and Sinker, who will also have that ultimate online in just a second. But phase 2, they have that secret weapon, Sound Barrier at the ready to just buy more time.
Baboon taken very, very low, but Insomniac is a better kill for Shoes Money Crew. This is a 5v5. The Earth Shatter isn't going to get anything. Ham Duplicate is going to get the kill on Shoes Suck, and with the defensive spawns, it looks like they need to cede this space because with 30 seconds left, they could bring it back. Loot Dog going down is huge for them.
That was an insane kill onto Insomniac. Caught him just as he was dropping the beat. That's no Sound Barrier ready for phase 2. However, the Nano Boost can keep things alive, but not against a Meteor Strike.
Beautiful stagger from No Hear You. Without Wub, they're going to have a much harder time making any progress in even touching this payload. Let's see who's going to be in charge of getting there. Is it going to be Hawk? Is it going to be Duplicate? The Graviton Surge is there, but you got to get 2 overtimes to use it. Duplicate is going to get the Nano, and the grab is there. Insomniac is on the payload, and look at the double charge kill onto Kaboom, and a Loot Dog grab in response for Shoes Money Crew is going to go down, but not enough kills to keep it alive for them thus far. The self-destruct not going to get anybody, and the kills are all coming for phase 2 right now as Duplicate is going to try to get to their spawn, but it looks like it's not going to be enough. Actually, it is, because Loot Dog is back onto the payload. They have to kill them, but the time to kill is too high. Shoes Money Crew will have an opportunity to come back, but it doesn't look like that's what's going to happen as the round is ending. Phase 2 gets all 3 points.
When it down to the 11th hour, Boop, Phase 2 do manage to complete out King's Row off of a beautiful overtime push right there. Shoes Money Crew, spending a little bit too much up front, and by the time, the fight came all the way to their spawn points, they had no more savings on which to rely, no ultimates to be found. So Shoes Money Crew now, the ball is in their court. They gotta finish out King's Row as well if they want to keep their hopes and dreams of moving on into the grand finals alive right here in NA Open Division playoffs.
Hey, so you're on the comms right now. You're
Mhm.
part of their team. What is the one thing you're fixing right here, right now?
I would probably call Coach Balamel. I'm just kidding. I don't know if Coach Ham Tornado has quite that same ring, but Shoes Money Crew just grabbed some of that initial inspiration. They were doing so well, rotating their ultimates, some beautiful clutch plays from Ponzor to keep everybody still in that fight. Kaboom's actually, doing quite well as well on that Lucio. It's just going to be a question once again of making sure that all of the resources are going to the person who's being focused down the most. At our very beginning point, a take where Phase 2 rolled the defense in that very first fight, it was No Hear You playing kind of that, loose skin tag almost. It's just really awkward. He's requiring a lot of resources. Doomfist is, if he's missing those combos, he's not getting any of that extra shielding. He's going to need a lot of pocketing, whereas, your tanks on the objective themselves could really be using those bio nades to keep the fight alive. So going to be looking for a little bit better resource management coming in from Shoes Money Crew, because honestly, once they got the ball rolling, once they entered that ultimate phase of the fight, they were looking golden.
But they have to keep the ball rolling. They've had a hard time handling their momentum, letting their emotions get the best of them. And this is the exact moment where you don't want that to happen. As Shoes Money Crew is going to be leaving spawn, Sinker's able to see everyone there. They might not even know the Sombra is around, and he's able to get the hack onto No Hear You, and the duplicate sees that and is going to go ahead and get that dive on, but unable to get the kill as they are in a hotel right now. And look at this, Loot Dog trying to get the kill onto Sinker. The fights are separated, but Shoes Money Crew is a little bit more together, which could prove to be to their advantage. Phase 2 is now taking this on to the point they've gotten some progress. No Crew's going to get even more progress by killing a duplicate. So this is a 5v6, and we said it earlier, because they were so separated, they were able to isolate some members of Phase 2 to take this point.
Yes, exactly. While Phase 2 have that mobility, they don't have a whole ton of sustain, especially coming up against No Hear You's great Doomfist right here. Takes down that main tank and seals the deal for his team, just as fast of a point take as Phase 2 accomplished.
So 5 minutes and 30 seconds to keep their winner's bracket finals alive. Try to do that reverse sweep. Shoe Money Crew looking pretty right now. Sinker already behind the team. Gets the hack on Kaboom. Hey, he could be a little squirrely to try to get that one clip on. But what this does is it makes it so Sinker's not with his team. The rest of his team is at a numbers disadvantage, and No Hear You is taking advantage of that and is going to get Insomniac with a great uppercut and a couple left clicks, Sam.
Yeah, interesting. Phase 2 kind of falling a little bit prey to that idea of wrong resources in the wrong places. We had Sinker, of course, we saw what he was trying to accomplish, get that Lucio out of the fight. Nobody's going to be on that payload, and no AoE healing or speed, which is going to be the biggest thing that the Lucio adds in this composition. But in the meantime, No Hear You wreaking havoc on the rest of Phase 2, whereas that hack really could have disabled that Doomfist.
Suck has the Graviton Surge along with the Meteor Strike. That is the Space Jam combo we all know and love. The EMP is out. Hawk gets Baboon. So this is a 6v5. Great sleep on it to Duplicate. Loot Dogs can go ahead and wake him up, and that Anti's going to keep him low, but they're unable to confirm the kill. The Shield Bash is going to do it instead. Graviton Surge used to confirm all of this, but could have been a little bit of a fat finger.
Maybe a little bit of a fat finger, but that is a value fat finger right there. Caught both of the supports of Phase 2 in that small mini pack room, and it was no problem for Suck to finish them off, even, just by himself. So Shoes Money Crew looking like they may also get a pretty easy point B take. Baboon ready with that Earth Shatter. He's going to press forward just a little bit, see if he can wear down that shield. Nope.
Loot Dog very, very close to that rally. Oh my goodness, the uppercut Earth Shatter combo. That is the classic, my friends, and that is exactly how you do it. Got 4 members behind the shield. Well, Ham, if you're capable of closing your mouth, what just happened?
I don't know, man. I've eaten at least 4 flies, because what a beautiful combo play between No Hear You and Baboon. It is not just Brigidas who are shining in this meta right now. There are so many combos possible. No Hear You knocking up Duplicate so that the Earth Shatter from Baboon could sneak underneath and catch all of the rest of the team. And now barreling towards this third point. It's going to take a miracle for phase 2 to hold here.
4 minutes and 39 seconds is an eternity on this last point. Loot Dog has the nano and the rally available, so pretty much unkillable. Another meteor strike is going to go down. Let's see where he's going to land. Not going to get anybody, but is going to get really good positioning onto Duplicate. Does get the fist off, but not the wall contact on that tank. The Earth Shatter is down as well. Sound barrier in response from Shoes Money Crew. Suck taken very, very low, but the shields are coming back for the self-destruct. Is out from Hawk and gets Loot Dog. Graviton Surge from Shoes Money Crew is not really going to do anything, and they are able to hold, but Ham, 4 minutes and 6 seconds left.
Phase 2, they had to hold right there. Some desperation plays did work out for the defense in that time. Suck, throwing out that Graviton Surge, you really would want to have that as another weapon for your second push here. Slightly ill-timed, but Baboon will still have this Earth Shatter at the ready, and no Hiryu already deep in the backline looking for the combo again.
Ooh, the grab gets 4. Let's see if they're going to be able to get any kills. Insomniac trying to get a cheeky boop from behind, unable to do it. Earth Shatter is down. All of the ults are out right now. Insomniac and Duplicate did just get theirs, but Duplicate did just die. So this is a 6v5 on this point. Duplicate does have an opportunity to come back. The time to kill is too low from Shoes Money Crew. Meteor Strike is going to potentially get one great grenade to get him to stay alive, and the kills are confirmed. No supports available for phase 2, and all of the kills are for Shoes Money Crew, and with over 3 minutes left, they take the rest of Pink Throw.
Oh my goodness, Boop, they still had, Shoes Money Crew rolling in, coming back with a vengeance. Absolutely clapped phase 2 right there. They probably could have even gone, another 2-3 team fights with the amount of ultimates that they were banking up. That nano boost onto Loot Dog, even though we saw that the Brigitte wasn't really picking up any kills solo. Just the fact that the Brigitte has been turned into such a threat with that nano boost, not only putting out so much extra damage, but taking so much less damage means that regardless of what else happens in Shoes Money Crew alongside the periphery of the fight, you can always rally behind that Brigitte, figuratively and literally.
Well done, my friend. So one thing is for sure, Wub has been a little quiet on this Brigitte thus far. You've been talking about that rally. Is Wub in the mood for a character shift? Is he performing to the level he needs to be to potentially grab this back?
I would say, yeah, we would hope for maybe a little bit more combos coming through between Wub, Duplicate, and kind of some of the other members of his team, because you'd really hope to have that Brigitte to maybe peel for your backline. You see No Hero diving in from 3 miles away, to get that shield bash at the ready. But potentially phase 2, they were focusing more on that front line battle. This time around, though, in round 4, with 3 minutes left for Shoes Money Crew to take just a tick, it might be time for a game plan change.
Here we go, my friends. Kabooms has got to amp it up. Got to get that speed to get around the statue. Really great move onto Sinker, pushing him away from the fight. Loot Dog has already taken Sinker down. This has already happened. This is definition of insanity. He's trying the same thing over and over, expecting different results. Great anti-nade, great sleep onto Hack, but Wub does get the Ponzor, and getting that Ana can be huge for them. They have taken some progress onto this point so far. They only need 1 tick, and they have 2 minutes and 34 seconds to grab the last half. Loot Dog showing up right now. Hawk gonna get demeched. Is this gonna be all they need? And No Hiryu is gonna take Hawk out of this fight, and they take 1 tick. Ham, Shoe Money Crew is gonna tie this up 2-2. The reverse sweep might happen, my friends.
We are going to a map 5 right here. The rebound from Shoes Money Crew has been incredible, and Baboon will take away the play of the game just to, reinforce that fact right here. Nothing fancy, folks, just some good old mouse 1 and E.
Getting that W in,
get
that
a little
click
W
in.
action,
Just
AD,
right?
just a little.
You just gotta hold it, and then you get play of the game.
A light touch, a sprinkle of right click.
Man, there's more than a sprinkle of hype right now in this game, as we are 2-2 right now. Shoe Money Crew. Honestly, the way phase 2 looked at the beginning of this, I didn't expect this to happen.
No, I was also expecting a 3-0 roll, but it was, almost off the back of one of our roly-poly friends, that Hammond, that Taponzor threw out that, marked that change in momentum from Shu's Money Crew. The allocation of resources absolutely present there on their last take of King's Row, and now rolling into Nepal. This is where we gotta see Shu's Money Crew stay disciplined, keep your heads in this game. Overwatch, by the way, not any of the other ones, because they did drop control to phase 2 2-0. So you don't want that repeat performance. It's time to continue on that previous positive streak.
It was actually a 3-round set, my friend.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
it was 1-1.
Yeah,
first.
it was very, very close. And
Good catch.
the cool thing about Shu Money Crew right now is they're going up against the number 1 seed.
Phase 2 have never lost.
They have not lost. They've been pushed, but they haven't lost. So, they're getting pushed again at Game 5. These guys all have experience. That's exactly where I would put a Game 5 winner. That experience is really going to matter.
Certainly, all of Phase 2 have competed in contenders previously. I do believe so. This is where, they're really going to be tested. I'm hoping that the in-game leader going to be staying positive still. The communication lines will still be open because, if anybody was listening to the Boop NATO comms when things aren't going well, silence. And that's where things start to fall apart. You don't know what is happening with your teammates. You can't link up anything and find that synergy, find those combos.
And talk about combos and synergy, that uppercut earth shatter. We see that occasionally, right? We'll never see it in solo queue, but we will see it in competitive play, and that's the communication you're talking about.
Exactly. And all of the great EMPs that have been capitalized on, Graviton Surge into, nades, those kinds of things, we need to see that storyline continue on into this map 5. Both teams really being pushed to the brink right now.
Well, and what's really interesting to me, we talked about it at the beginning. I didn't really think it was that big of a deal, but could be right now. Shu's Money Crew doesn't scrim. Right? So they haven't practiced and have been in this situation before, but that can actually be an advantage. They might not be feeling the nerves that another team might feel.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't start mind gaming yourself. Okay, we have to win here on Nepal. Maybe they're going to bring out the Maid. Maybe they're going to bring out a Reaper. Maybe this, maybe that. Just stick to your guns. Work the comfort picks. No Hiryu wasn't picking up a whole lot of kills on the Doomfist, say on Gibraltar, but they stuck with it. They were able to kind of just shift things around his hero picks, and they ended up taking us to a map 5.
And here we are on Nepal, and I'm so excited because Kabooms has also had a couple beautiful boops, particularly on a King Road. He had a double one that we didn't really point out, but it was beautiful, and a Booposaurus likes a boop. But looking at these support players, we talk about DPS, we talk about tanks. We've been talking a lot about them, but something that I'm ready to talk about is these Annas, as both of them have shown that they can sleep dart with the best of them. Sleep
dart with the best of them, clutch nano with the best of them. All the Ana play has been so elevated. Taponzor and Moore kind of have different styles. We see Moore going with a lot more of those aggressive nades. Oftentimes, the moment that Shu's Money Crew makes that initiation, every single one of them is purple. Great color, just not here in Overwatch because it means you have eaten that big anti-nade and you're going to be forced to give up that space to wait for that to wear off, because it doesn't matter how much burst healing is coming through from your own support line, you're not getting any of that goodness.
And we saw Duplicate being the victim of that anti-nade plenty of times, and he had a really good idea. I'm going to go up, I'm going to assert my aggression. The anti-nade comes back, it's like, all right, I got to scoot back slowly but surely, just like the Flintstones drive their cars, right? You just got to, or how he bowls, you just got to go really, really fast going backwards. But now the pause is over, and we are headed into Nepal, and let's look at these team comps. So anything can change, but right now I am assuming that Phase 2 will run something very similar to this.
Yeah, Ana Goats once again, herbivores are just, they're like the black of hero compositions. Looks good with everything, looks good on basically every map at this point. So, and Phase 2 are clearly very comfortable with this, so why not? And of course, no swaps from Shu's Money Crew either. A little bit to be expected, but no hero going to be launching himself out of spawn already on this high ground, just being sneaky, using that control, crouching. Shh, we're hunting, exactly. We are hunting for vulnerable targets. Bubble down, he's going in.
All right, gets the fist on his Zarya and gets taken down himself. Insomniac's gonna get the kill as well. And Phase 2 starts us off. Best case scenario for them with a bunch of kills.
Yeah, I mean, not just best case scenario. This is, something from their dreams. A beautiful charge connects from Duplicate onto his counterpart, and that was definitely one of those cases where diving in, head first, maybe not the best way.
No, it was like they dived head first to 3 feet of water. Just then, as Doofus goes forward and then flies backward after that death. The point is taken by FaZe 2. They are at 15%. They've decided to take the fight off at this point. Let's see if it is going to flip. And that is exactly what's going to happen. Is 3 percentages from Shoes Money Crew. We've seen this in the past. FaZe 2 could lose this by 7%. We'll know exactly why. They are going to take the point back, however, as the kills are in, and so are those ultimates for the next fight.
Yeah, Shoes Money Crew prioritizing the objective right there, but at the cost of allowing their 2 supports to go down first, which means it's going to be easy peasy for FaZe 2 to recollect that objective. And they'll have 5 ultimates to boot. Shoes Money Crew, they're going to have to make a careful initiation here. Perhaps potentially just, poke around the edges. Either try and draw out some of those supports for a hard engage the next time around, or get No Hear You up to that Meteor Strike first.
Shatter's going to get 2. Loot Dog and Kabooms is on the ground. Loot Dog getting taken very low and finally is able to get killed. And look at this. Duplicate seems to either be quiet or absolutely loud because he gets those 3 kills.
0 or 100. No in between, and Hawk throws out that self-destruct, but the only reason didn't pick up any kills was because everybody was already dead, man. But now No Hear You with an excellent initiator. That Meteor Strike may want to combo with Suck's Graviton Surge. Both are online at the same time.
Ooh, gets the double uppercut, pushes more and Sinker back. 3 is in, the Graviton Surge. The Meteor Strike was not followed up as he was dead. Suck probably really wanted that Space Jam combo, but right now he probably just really wants his teammates to stay alive.
Yeah, that I hear that's very helpful. I'm not a pro player, but that was actually an extremely heads-up shield bash from Wub. We talked about him being a little bit quiet on King's Row, but this time around, he is really worth his weight in gold right now, able to cancel out No Hear You.
Earthshatter comes in earlier, Meteor Strike comes in right after that, so does the rally. The armor is available for FaZe 2 as Wub was able to get another rally after that fight. And finally, No Hear You is going to appear on the kill feed for Shoes Money Crew. But that might be it for them as the rest of the fights come in for FaZe 2, and just how they're playing together. That Earthshatter is not going to take onto his back. They got to grab Kabooms. We've all been here on this match specifically with those pesky Lucios, and it's just a matter of time at this point. But if the Bone Thrower gets another kill, it could be all Shoe Money Crew needs to get back onto this point. The time to kill the Kabooms is still not dead, Ham.
Oh, Kabooms, no. That is one long-lived frog. Allows Taponzo to tag back in here. Oh, one jump. No.
Do you see that little hope that I had? I even said it. They're going to do it, but no. Just a little too slow. Kaboom's tried his heart out, man.
Oh, no. That was some beautiful stall coming in, and wow, I thought tree frogs, only live so long, but Kaboom's really proving us wrong here.
Oh, man, and Kabooms is going to show up here, I know, because we are on a Sanctum, the land of opportunity. Anyway, so we are now at FaZe 2 on match point. They get an extra map win for going through all the way into the winner's bracket, into the finals. The finals are a best of 7, so getting that extra win could be all they need. They might only need to win 3 more games after that, but first they got to win this one. Shoe Money Crew on the back foot, down 0-1, and we are on a Sanctum. Kabooms has played an amazing Lucio so far, and Moore showing up on the Zenyatta. I'm actually really interested to see how capable Moore is on this Zenyatta as we are finally getting these points. Sinker on the Widowmaker as well, and a beautiful headshot onto Loot Dog. My whole body is crushed right now because that was amazing.
Yeah, no, I have to consciously relax myself because that was a beautiful point-blank headshot from Sinker. Absolutely opened it up for FaZe 2 to take this point. However, No Hear You takes out Wub, so that's going to be one Hanzo down. Nope, Resurrection comes back in. This is a completely different look for FaZe 2, relying on this Orisa dual sniper composition, but it is working out for them so far. They just got to remove the last couple of members of Shoes Money Crew, but it's looking less and less likely.
Duplicate trying his best. Okay, sometimes we have one of those days, right, where we just miss a step and then we fall down the stairs. No Hear You, it doesn't matter. His team won, so
exactly. He just had that much faith in Baboon and Loot Dog. That's
exactly.
Exactly. It's exactly going as planned. And Shoes Money Crew, off the backs of these enormous efforts, will get that first cap. And again, this is so important. It's going to make phase 2 trying to push in here with an Orisa so much more difficult. And indeed, we see the swaps coming through now. Duplicate and Hawk back on the Winston D.Va, and Sinker and Wub on the McCree and Hanzo. Interestingly, likely just there for that flashbang headshot potential on Loot Dog.
Oh, the EMP is down from Loop Dog. Wub is going to get the first kill, though. This is a 5v5. They have to make it past this archway. They want to contest this point. That's why the Transcendence is being dropped right now from Moore. Duplicate is going to be able to get the res. They haven't had to deal with the res all game so far, so this is a new scenario for them. And Kabooms does get the boost kill. I don't think it was environmental. It was just the old-fashioned way. Earthshatter does go down, and we're seeing this again. Phase 2 gets the early picks, but Shoes Money Crew is going to get the final fight win.
Like a rubber band back in your face and twice as painful. A beautiful play from Suck right there. Waited for that Transcendence from Moore to go down before grabbing the entire phase 2 team, knowing that that supportive ultimate wouldn't no longer be available. And now phase 2, they may need to break out with just a big self-destruct from Hawk as they rotate onto the point.
Hey, they've gotten to do it before. It's happened 3 other times. If anyone can do it, our bird friend can. Let's see if the self-destruct will be big as no hero escapes. 97% on that ultimate. He will have that meteor strike. Suck booped off. Insomniac is going to get the environmental kill. Moore is going to go down as well. This is now but Shoe Money Crew. What a great start once again from phase 2. But in the end, boops galore, my friends. In the end, Shoe Money Crew gets the win. They will have another shot phase 2 if they're able to get through this archway.
Oh my goodness. Phase 2 trying to go through, huddle up in that small alleyway before bursting onto the objective, but Taponzor raises you. One nanoed Reinhardt. Baboon doing so much work, and we'll have this Earth Shatter at the ready as well. Suck with this Graviton Surge, just looking for the right time.
Insomniac might have touched the point a little too early as he goes down, and now they don't have that Lucio. Duplicate taken very, very low after getting that kill. Graviton Surge from Shoe Money Crew could be the end for phase 2 on this map, and that's exactly what we're going to see. It would take an absolute miracle for phase 2 to come back here as Shoe Money Crew is going to even this up. Pam and everyone at home, we are going the distance. Max maps, going to round 3 on Nepal. This is it, my friends.
Exactly. It could not be more neck and neck right here, Boop. Phase 2, we talked about the fact that Shoes Money Crew doesn't scrim and, may not know what they're expecting, so they just stick to their guns. Whereas phase 2, we saw them on completely different heroes. It was a completely new, fresh look from the team, and honestly, it was kind of, a bad look. It didn't work out at all. You could tell that they were scrambling to see, and then, which kind of heroes would be helping them get that win, and in the end, they defaulted back to their old tried and true, but it was just too late. Maximum parsimony, my friends. Sometimes the simplest route is just that best route, and so we now will be heading to this final deciding round, Nepal Village, and it will be once again the Doomfist Sombra from Shoes Money Crew against the Onagoats of phase 2.
Doomfist can shine on this map. The point is all enclosed. Let's see if Loot Dog and what his scouting is going to be able to get the rest of his team. He knows everyone is there at this point, and phase 2 has taken up shot on the point. I don't think that Sept did hit anybody. The ante does get more, and Insomniac is taken very, very low, and the first 2 kills are for Shoe Money Crew, but it is 4v4 on the point right now. No hero is going to get the D-Mech onto Hawk. That can prove to be enough to grab this first point, and the momentum is there for Shoe Money Crew. They've had a hard time keeping that momentum going, but it looks like they're not going to have a hard time right now, as No Hero, you get 2 kills and going to get the point for his team.
Oh my goodness, 40 HP and a dream is No Hero, putting in so much work right here, and Loot Dog as well with those hacks and just really utilizing that Sombra 60 bullet clip to its max. That Sombra will have an EMP for this next fight, so phase 2, they gotta be expecting that they'll need a couple of eco pushes as they just drain the ultimate bank.
EMP gets everyone except Insomniac, so that's a dead fight at that point. Yeah. Insomniac just is gonna try to die there, but one thing is for sure, EMP is just a delay of some sort sometimes. You win that fight, but you're given an opportunity for the team to come in knowing that it's not there.
Exactly, but the good news for Shoes Money Crew is that they will have plenty for ultimates in the bank. It's just delaying getting a nice Earth Shatter, right? It may be another play of the game opportunity here for Baboon, but Duplicate, he is only 10% away from his own Earth Shatter, and he's going to have some things to say about it.
The charge is there and does get Baboon. The bubble does keep him alive, though, lasts just long enough, and the rest of his team is going down. They cannot seem to focus in on that death ball right now. Shoe Money Crew taking advantage of the lack of cohesion of Phase 2 right now.
Yeah, Phase 2 looking a little bit scattered. They're certainly under pressure here, one round away from dropping down into the loser's bracket and forced to fight yet again for their chance, their shot at grand finals. However, at this point, Phase 2 have stocked up on their ultimates. They're ready to let them loose. There's so many combos at potential here. Duplicate with that Earth Shatter, Hawk ready with that self-destruct.
Oh my goodness, that Graviton Surge gets most of them. The self-destruct is out in response. That was a defensive self-destruct. The kills are coming in, and now Shoes Money Crew has the advantage. It is a 5v3 on the point, and they actually lost the point in the middle of that. So this potentially could give Phase 2 another opportunity to get back on this point, because if they didn't flip this point, they'd be at 90 right now. Hawk's trying to that. Oh, this poor, unable to become a butterfly, that larval diva.
Yeah, larval diva is it's because of the way she squirts out of her mech. But Phase 2, they've got bigger problems to worry about, namely getting onto this point. They eat a huge Earth Shatter from Baboon, and they're not even going to be able to touch.
What in upset, my friends. Phase 2 falling victim to the reverse sweep. I'm seeing our analyst desk right now. Frito with that smirk on his face. He deserves it. I should take a picture of it and just put it up in my room to remind myself how terrible of a person I am. Paulson, hands on the head. This is exactly how we feel ourselves. Shoe Money Crew coming from the brink of elimination, coming back and getting the reverse sweep.
Coming from behind, literally and figuratively, with that Doomfist and Sombra pick to seal the deal on Nepal. Could not have hoped for a better showing of Overwatch just in general in that last series. I cannot wait to hear Frito.
And we have 2 more games, my friends. So that is it for us. We will be back for the finals, my friends. But for now, I'm so excited to hear Frito just absolutely rip everyone apart, because today you established your legendary status, my friend. So Green Havoc, take it away.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and let Frito have his day. I'm going to let him just go ahead and gloat and take it for a second. So enjoy your moment.
So, guys, predictions are hard for some people. Others of us have 2,000 IQ and know things like Doomfist quite good against 3-3. Turns out when you turn the enemy Rhine to make anti-nade possibilities, magic can happen. A beautiful reverse sweep. I didn't doubt them for a second. Okay, it looked bad at times. All right, it was rough. It was definitely not the cleanest game that we've ever seen, but that is exactly what Shoes Money Crew wanted to create. They wanted to create chaos and frantic playmaking. I think we were jumping out of our seats, and we still can't get the image out of our mind. The shatter on third Foundry stage of King's Row, where No Hear You knocked the Rhine up to set up for a shatter. See, they don't have the macro plays, but if they start landing those micro, mini little duo partner, almost matchmaking ranked-esque playmaking, they can start to take over games, and things just kept getting rolling. And I think the Doomfist eventually got in the heads of Phase 2 here as the series went on, because they just stopped shutting it down. It looked easy for them earlier in the series, much harder as it went on.
I think that's a great point. And I mean, the liftoff shatter where, No Hear You was behind and then threw, duplicate up into the air for the shatter to come through. That was literally a play where one Reinhardt is yelling at his team, guys, I hate Doomfist. And the other Reinhardt is yelling at his team, guys, I love Doomfist. So here's the big question now, because FaZe is going to have to go and play another game now to see if they can make it into the grand finals. They're going to be going up against GOATS again. What do they need to fix for that game? Now, I know GOATS plays obviously a very different style than what we saw in this game, but what does Phase 2 need to keep in mind as far as that next game goes? Paul Zabul, we'll start with you.
Well, the place where I think they were the weakest in this whole series, right? Because it was close on King's Row and it was close on Nepal a little bit, not so much on those last two, but for the first point it was pretty close, right? Where they struggled was Temple of Anubis, where they tried to bring that dive out. The issue was they weren't playing it like dive. they were playing it like it was that 3-3 composition where you just clump up and you roll through a choke point, right? And they tried to do that with dive, which generally likes to spread out, cover a lot of angles, find where the weak point is, and collapse on it. That was not a good look for them. Not whatsoever. And the Doomfist destroyed them because I've never been happier to be wrong, honestly, when it comes to this prediction. No Hear You was so sick on that Doomfist pick in the last half of this series. And we talked earlier about star power and how Phase 2 has a lot of contenders players, and it's like, who do you shut down, right? Well, they decided, screw it, we're going to shut all of them down with our Doomfist that we're not going to let be shut down anymore. It was just absolute, basically an entirely different team from Shoes Money Crew in the second half. Beautiful play.
It really was. They went from, it almost looked like they were trying to play a little bit more organized game at first. And Frito, I'm going to toss a question here to you. Is we saw them, especially on the map one, and I know you got a little nervous coming into map 5, where they were running this Reinhardt Zarya Doomfist, but they weren't really playing around the Doomfist. And it just felt like the team comp was firing off on a bunch of different cylinders, but not in the way that they needed to create chaos. And you were talking about the difference between the way they were playing that in the final map where they took the series versus those first few. And so I'm a little curious to what was the difference in play style that you were talking about.
Well, the DPS pairing, when they ran the Rein Zarya with Brigitte, all of your value in your team comp essentially is focused in the front line, not in chaos in the back line. So in Village there, that Sombra pick really just took over the game in a few cases, because if a clumped up 3-3 comp can't see the Sombra coming, they all get EMP'd, and that's easy cleanup from there. Multiple team fights were won with that EMP, and they did a really good job charging it, sort of staying in the fight, charging EMP. I think that's the biggest thing that you have to see out of Sombra play in this meta. Don't run away. Don't even go for kills necessarily on the back line. Just charge EMP, because you'll eventually have that trump card to win team fights over and over again. And on Sanctum, it was just a really interesting brawl of a match, because theoretically, you would look at a map like that and say Orisa is definitely the stronger pick, but what the Rein Zarya allowed to do is really stuff up their ability to play longer sight lines, and then the ideal situation that they were attempting to create every time they ran that type of comp started to come to fruition, where No Hear You was able to go pick off squishy targets in the back line. I think he killed that Hanzo twice in a row in the first fight. They got rezzed just to die again. It was a terrible experience for him, I'm sure. But, I think Phase 2, for improving throughout the lower bracket here, I think they need to not overthink themselves, but also, counterpick a bit better. Because although Double Sniper can get picks on a Doomfist type comp, they certainly can't fight him at close range. They were showing a McCree at the start of Village, and I'm like, oh, that might be a good pick. Didn't stick with it. I also, maybe a May Reaper strat would have been really good at Village if they know how to run that. More counterpicking, I think, would have been good, because Moore, who was an MVP candidate for me the entire way through until the reverse sweep started to happen, really started to get his value shut down. The sleeps weren't hitting as often, and he wasn't dodging the Doomfist as well as he was in the first couple maps.
I had a whole thing too. I was going to be like, honestly, I think we all know who P was. He really just got more value. And now I don't get to do any of that. I do think I know where our MVP picks are going to go. But Frito, MVP of this game, who is it?
Yeah, I hesitate to give it to No Hear You, because he didn't look great at times, right? Like he was getting shut down. That Granny sure had some, she's been doing her walking recently, because Moore was dodging him a lot of times and coming out on top with the sleep darts for a big percentage of the series. I think more so I'm going to give it to Baboon and Ponzer, who really were setting up for the team fights to create these big plays. These are either landing shatters, going head-to-head to an organized team that runs 303. That's impossible for a tank to do who hasn't been scrimming. I think that's an incredible feat. And Ponzer as well, as they started to win, they were doing so on the back of big anti-nades, which, makes team fights very easy in this meta.
All right, Plausible, where are you going for your MVP pick?
Yeah, I was actually going to bring up Ponzer, but Frito pretty much covered it. So I'm going to talk about some honorable mentions from phase 2 here. I really think we saw Hawk, how good he was on that Diva, right? Even aside from the huge bombs he had no right to hit but did anyways, he was always right where he needed to be. I think on the first or second map, he had 82% kill participation, just always with his team on the targets that need to go down, peeling, eating grabs. So good on that hero.
I see. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and say, I'm going to give the cop-out answer, and that's just going to be this. I'm going to give it to the whole team, and the reason is because the way they fed off of each other. There was a lot of individual plays, but the thing that allowed their team to really make it through that extra inch to win a game and to win a fight and to win a map was the fact that it was, if one person popped off, the next person was like, okay, well, if he's popping, then I've got to be popping. Then I've got to be, and it just was this roller coaster of every team fight you saw someone else go, okay, guys, don't worry, sit down. It's my turn. I'll take care of it. So for me, I'm going to give the cheating answer and just say all of them. But there is so much more Overwatch to be watched today. We've had a blast with this game and the game before it. We are about to see Phase 2 go up against GOATs to see who makes it into the grand finals. It's going to be a blast of a game. A shout out to Boopasaurus and Ham for their casting throughout the game. Of course, Frito and Pulsable, and of course, Ben Bigelow, our producer. I've been Green Havoc. This has been your coverage for the winners bracket. And like I said, so much more Overwatch is coming up, guys. So stick around and enjoy the rest of the night.